to Bladtcast 350. You got to do it extra loud because for the people who are here now watching live, they're not going to get the benefit of the music that the people listening to the audio version are going to get. They're going to hear the full extended mix of Listening to Black. What do you mean, why do I scream? Well, how many of these have you done? When do I not scream?
No, why do you scream it like that?
Because I've explained it to you from a technical purpose. Before we introduce everyone, good. Why do I yell it like that? Because I'm a really shitty editor, and
that's where you know it starts. Right?
Because I have to fade down the music, so if I'm really loud in the beginning, the cross fade on Audacity, because I use Audacity, because I don't pay for audio.
Say, why the hell do you use Audacity?
Because it's free. Trash? Because Trash people unite. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, welcome to Bladtcast 350. It's already off to a smashing start. Joined, of course, by Will Sterling.
Now, is this being live video edited, or is the camera only on you? For
no, the camera. There's a split actually.
I can see it.
We've got a split there. So there's a camera of me, a camera of Will.
I know that, but I like to imagine that we're like, it's going to be live stream.
There's a fourth box.
Just Christian.
There's a fourth box where Jeff DeRay would be if he hadn't passed away. R.I.P. Jeff DeRay. So, also on the panel, no, Jeff DeRay is not here for a really good reason. Like, usually it's annoying when your friends blow you off to, hang out with somebody else.
Sure.
But Jeff is working.
Is he hanging out with them?
He's hanging out.
He's not hanging out with them.
He's hanging out with Christian Bale and Matt Damon.
I'm sorry, what?
Because
and James Mangold.
What do you mean?
And James the director of Wolverine, X-Men Origins Wolverine?
No, actually, he directed
the good
Wolverine.
One. Yeah,
and
then
the actual good one.
The actual Logan. Yeah. So anyway, that's where Jeff is. One of the shows he works for is doing a special. Friday is not usually the day they tape.
Right.
So he's hanging out with Batman and Jason Bourne.
That's right.
So I'm not going to take it personally, but
you don't want to say Will Hunting instead.
No, Jason Bourne, right?
No.
Jason Bourne Hunting?
Sure.
Also, Bourne Hunting was Lindsey K. Floyd over here for your first in-studio in the Valley. You've only ever done the Bladtcast in Culver City before, so this is big.
I had to put on my hiking shoes to get over here.
I know. Well, you also had to get your money changed over because they don't use the same currency here.
Exactly.
She had her papers, her passport, and everything.
She's done the Bladtcast at the Mecca,
where
it all began.
Where it all started. No, actually, it's across the street. It's that building. It used to be the traffic building.
Okay.
We still haven't done it from the old studio, but maybe the studio we used to use, we might end up in there at some point.
Sure.
I'm not.
We should sneak in late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that worked out really well for Anderson when he did it.
I mean, they got a lot.
Do you remember
followers.
that? This is really inside stuff. But guy who produced Loveline, he snuck it into his podcast at night and accidentally put it out over the air.
Yeah.
And they were swearing and drinking in the studio, and he didn't get fired.
He didn't get fired, and he got
promoted.
And they got advertising out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
They all good stuff.
So we should be streaming. We should be streaming the Bladtcast over every AfterBuzz show.
I swear all the time.
Every popcorn talk. Over there on the couch, we are honored to be joined by one of the singular greatest talents I've ever had the pleasure to work with. I'm, of course, talking about Amy Cassandra Martinez.
That's so nice. No, I absolutely knew her. It didn't start with trash, so it was not, I knew it wasn't going to be me.
You have purple hair.
Very happy to introduce to everyone for the first time. As Zia Landfillerson, of course.
That's a new
because
one.
Remember I told you I came up with a new nickname.
That was the new one.
I was so proud of myself because she's a trash person.
So good.
She's at Zia Land, right?
Yeah.
So I figured.
That's really good.
And I almost texted it to you, and I'm like,
good.
wait, let's save it for the air.
I tried to open a beverage right when you introduced her.
Yeah,
it didn't work.
It didn't work. No. So did you spill?
No, it's fine.
Can we do it again and
I just
edit
wanted
it out
a sound
for the
effect
audio?
for her as a trash person to also be the sound of a beer opening.
Oh, that Well, not anymore though. You don't drink.
No, but when I did, I sure did drink a lot of shitty cheap beer. Hey,
this is class act.
Shitty cheap
what's
beer.
that?
This is average brown bottle. No, the script.
Wait a minute. What is that? Anyway,
I do want to know what that is now.
Yeah, what is it? Is that Brooklyn Lager?
Right? Oh.
It is a
Lagunitas.
Little something.
Little something.
I've never even heard of that.
So he just wanted to get a little something. Yeah. So there's so much to talk about, and obviously the place to start is what the Bladtcast has meant to all of you. Lindsey?
It's mostly meant working with Christian.
And does it mean like extra work, like we do when we actually work?
Yeah, it means like, oh, hey, pal, what's going on? Having a good day? I got this extra work for you.
Can we? But have I ever asked you to edit the Bladtcast?
That's not my word.
Right. So I just ask you to like hang out and talk.
Oh yes.
So
I like that part.
Yeah, that's the part. I don't make you actually work on it.
You have to be around him.
Yeah, that is extra work.
But you get paid to be around me for the first part of the day.
For the first part, and the rest I do out of the kindness of my heart.
Yeah,
that's nice of you.
We've had some drives up to Dennis's palatial estates up in Montecito, which I know Will.
Oh, yes.
You actually once called into this show from that drive.
Oh wow!
You
Yes,
and Katie,
I called
and
into the
we couldn't
Bladtcast
talk
from the
about
drive to Dennis's house.
where you were.
Yeah.
It was like I think it was a movie review show, so it was one we like really wanted to have you on.
That's when all the like fires and mudslides were happening.
Yeah, which is happening again now.
Yeah.
So, but
It's always happening.
Oh,
I will tell you that
cyclical.
the episode that we did with the first one we did with Lindsey, there were two now. There's one with Lindsey and then one with Lindsey and Farad Muhammad.
Right.
And the one with just Lindsey and I is, I have to say, one of our most popular episodes ever.
Wow.
It's just
me.
second to the one with Dennis, actually.
In terms of downloads?
In terms of
All time?
no,
Or
play-
upon release?
upon release.
Because a lot of these episodes have been up for a really long time. So it's probably like if you went back to the beginning.
All right.
The first episode was like 10,000
You're making enemies
downloads.
for
All
me.
right, but to be fair, the
I
first
probably get most of those
yeah, that's true.
because I have a lot of Instagram followers. I'm super, super influential.
Well, and also they're there for what they're there for is the naked pics.
It's true.
That's why.
Yeah.
So I started
Yeah.
promoting my own social to try to get more followers to see promotions. Whatever paid promotions say target my normal audience.
Yes.
87% men.
Well, that's because you post
13% women.
Will posts very
Most of my
tasteful.
followers are gay men.
Yes.
And you know what? I'll just go for that market.
But
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll
I mean,
just go for it.
Absolutely.
Look,
What's your handle?
At Will Sterling underscore.
Amy, you are a married woman,
Will
okay?
Sterling
You don't ask about
Is
his
this
handle.
for research
Don't try to touch his
purposes
handle,
only?
okay?
I appreciate
Nikki is a
that.
nice guy. Don't
See what
touch
I just
his
did? I
It's not
hijacked this away from
wise-
Lindsay
oh,
and
wait,
I
Wait,
feel
I
bad
think
about
she
it.
needs you to repeat the handle.
So
At
she
Will
goes
Sterling
at-
underscore.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna find these.
So
for
this
you.
was
There's
about
a
how
dog.
Lindsay is in one of our most popular episodes.
Okay.
And Will, by the way, the majority of the episodes that you were in are no longer online. No, actually the majority of them.
Oh,
But the first 120,
okay.
there's like 5 of those are there.
Probably best that they're not.
Well, yeah, we've talked a lot about that.
Some of them. Yeah.
In 2019, there's some of
But
them.
anyway, would you like
You
a
made
beverage,
Amy
Lindsay?
blush.
No,
Oh.
I was like,
Another
why are you?
nondescript
the same.
All right, wait,
cannot
hang on.
post that.
Now, I know that everybody
Sorry.
here does hosting and podcasts and things, but who here thinks it works if we're having 2 simultaneous conversations at the same
It's
time?
great. It's
Oh, is that the way?
this
Is that the way?
That's
That's
the way professionals do it.
oh, you know what? Maybe that's how they do things on Into the Marvel verse. Okay, but the
Oh, how
Bladtcast.
dare you?
Hey, I just gave a plug to your husband's
you.
podcast. It was a backhanded kind of a jerky
Yeah,
plug,
yeah.
but I
it
still
was
plugged it. Still plug.
It was still good.
It's kind of a backhanded
I
jerky
wish
plug, but
we should have another one over here.
I, you know what?
yeah.
In the middle of the show, I'll hand it over to you guys. I
you've
figure.
never let me be in charge.
You
of
have
it.
definitely.
I love
I've
that.
rung the bell, but I've
Oh,
never
but
been
you're
in
not
charge of it.
Yeah. Well, who's the prettiest one in
I
here?
see. I understand.
Is it
well,
Will?
yeah,
I understand.
You're the
No.
prettiest, Will.
It is.
Now that there are
and by the way,
actual women
so-
on the Bladtcast
Yeah.
who don't need my feminine energy. It's
No, but Will is our resident feminist.
Yeah.
And
Which is like a shitty, dumb title I said many years ago.
Well,
and now I'm
because-
like, I don't like to say that because I hate it when dudes are like, "Oh, I'm a great feminist."
When
I'm
you
like, don't say it
consider-
out loud. Just don't be.
think
shitty.
of the original permutation, the
Yeah.
original Mount Rushmore of the Bladtcast.
True.
You had me.
Yes.
You had Liev/Brzezinski. You had Ken, aka Coltrane, and Will,
Where is
and
Coltrane?
then by the way, and then Jeff
Yeah.
DeRay.
Yeah.
So who would be the resident feminist of that 5?
Definitely me.
Yeah, and I'm probably in like the second position.
Yeah, you're in this position.
The doggy
too.
position.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
where I am. Yeah, very submissive. I'm the receiving. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm the dog.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, get
but
down.
still, yeah.
The dog-
Thank you.
We call that a bottom, Kristen.
Well, that was what I wanted to get back to. Actually, Will power bottom, from what I
No,
understand.
no. I don't think
It's a
you would
power
be
top.
power bottom. You'd
No,
just be bottom.
I would just be bottom.
Yeah.
But Will, you do have a tremendous following in the gay community because of a show you used to work on.
Yeah, Ross
which
Matthews.
I don't think there's any reason not to say. By the way,
Oh,
they still have a picture of you here.
Yes, they do.
That cycles through of the old Straight
don't
Talk with
even
Ross
do the
gang.
show here anymore.
They haven't done it here in years.
No.
You haven't been on it in years,
No.
but they still promote it here.
Oh
and
my
so
God.
because of that,
Yeah.
Straight
Ye-
Talk went over to Westwood 1.
yeah.
Yeah.
that was right.
Everything
right
goes
after
over
I
to
left
Westwood one eventually.
Well,
Ross
we're the
Matthews.
best.
Well,
Did a thing on Sirius.
You
too,
okay?
right? Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I'm like choking.
She's just
My
like
husband
that.
worked on that.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I just was like, wait, why does that sound really familiar? And I was like,
cool.
that's why.
Yep.
Small
but
world.
we're talking about Instagram followers, and I feel like you might not have the most in the studio.
I don't have that many
Yeah.
actually.
I
was
only
making a
have,
big
like,
deal out of it,
200,
like
by
it
the
was
way.
like I was a big deal, but everybody knows like I'm not really. a
If
big
I
deal.
guessed, I would guess Zia. For sure, had the most.
No.
How many do you have, Amy?
The most.
As she says as she grabs her phone. Because
She's gotta check-
remember, what did we were
Stay
trying to
humble.
get you to, Zia? We were trying to get you to
1,000.
1,000.
Which
That was
we've well.
We
gone
got
over.
well past it.
Yeah.
And by the way, we still have not taken even one photo.
It's really not fair.
Of Jeff
I
DeRay
know.
recreating some of your. Can we call them glamour shots?
Yeah.
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 Spank
Absolutely.
pics, whatever you want to call
Glamorous.
them. Yeah. What? I mean, that's really what they
Damn it,
are.
Christian.
Wow,
Look.
I've never heard you talk.
Right in front of 3 other women.
Wow.
And you. So it's really like 4 women.
You're also here.
Actually, if it's being real, it is 3 women.
Yeah, that's true. There's this other dude on the couch that I'm talking to.
Very pretty dude.
Oh, thanks.
It's only because you don't know her.
That's true.
Only because you don't know
I
her.
haven't burped yet because I haven't had any bubbly water.
Well,
That's why I'm drinking
let's
beer.
let's get to this is now going to turn into the McLaughlin group, which is just a joke for me and nobody else in the studio. But topic number 1, what I legitimately want to talk about, something we talked about
I get
at
that
breakfast
reference.
because
Okay.
you've seen Saturday Night Live.
No, because I used to every once in a while pull.
Oh, you have to
soundbites
pull
for
clips from the
Dennis's show.
McLaughlin group.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
I understood that reference.
So now I'm doing jokes for just Will and I. Oh, I'm just doing jokes for the guys.
I was gonna say, I was like,
And-
me and Amy just looked at each other.
And I
like,
called this episode for the ladies because the ladies are here. And what I did want to talk about is something that is more serious than what we usually talk about. And it is the idea of whether or not you can put ketchup on your breakfast. And Amy, you feel very strongly against this. Because, truth be told, Amy, Z, and I had brunch before this.
It was so freaking good.
so
We went to
good.
it.
It was.
Let's give a
Where'd you
place
go?
called Eat over on Magnolia here in
Yes.
North Hollywood.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
next time maybe they'll take 10% off. Mention promo code Bladtcast.
What is the cross street? Have I gone by this?
You Vineland maybe? It's
Okay.
yeah, it's
I don't know streets that
so
good.
and
Hard to park
I don't know
there.
streets that good.
no street learning.
Better learn how to put my fucking shoes on today. Got out the door.
So
I don't know about that German word.
Zia got out the big bottle of ketchup. And by the way, Amy, you did
big
drown your
bottle.
breakfast. You did drown your breakfast in salsa.
Salsa.
That's the only way to
And
do it. Yeah.
the
Tapatio
be-
or Cholula?
That
Okay,
Or
so
neither.
here's the problem. So good Texas.
Not salsa, it's
No,
hot sauce.
Good,
I get
yeah,
it.
good Texas
Okay.
girl.
But
okay.
So the waitress brings over what when you ask for
She gives
salsa?
me like crappy what to
Tapatio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
That's
That
not
is not
salsa.
salsa.
Right.
That
She had to
is hot
explain.
Sauce.
Correct.
And I was like, so then my go-to is like chunky salsa, like paste.
Yeah,
And then
like-
she brings me the good stuff.
okay.
Yeah. And
Which-
then you
yeah.
literally drown your breakfast in it.
Heck
However,
yeah.
Zia puts like a waft of ketchup on her
Okay,
breakfast
heck
potatoes.
no, it was not a
breakfast
waft.
potatoes.
What are
waft?
you talking? And I don't even know
Yeah, I don't know really
the
what
concept of a
waft is.
waft.
Yeah, I feel like that's an air term, not,
Yeah,
not a liquid
yeah.
term.
Waft.
But I think
It's-
you
she
just put
wafted
right
it, yeah.
now.
No, I don't think
No,
anybody
I
uses
chose
it.
it. So I chose it
right.
carefully because she barely put any on it. She mostly
That's
just
a
put the
lie.
spell.
That
The
is
smell.
a lie.
Wow.
You are a liar. Well, how much did you put?
I did put a decent amount,
Oh,
but I do
goddammit.
this. I'm sorry.
God damn it.
I'm
I
sorry.
put you on my
Christian.
side.
I put like I do the whole thing where I like.
Yeah, can you keep making that motion?
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna make a meme out of that.
I was doing this.
Especially with Amy with her eyes covered.
I'm sorry. I did like. I'm so sorry.
You did like a what?
Oh, can we make an oh boy gif somehow? No?
Oh, yeah.
we
Zia's the only one who
have to.
understands
Now
it.
that we have
All
the
right,
video.
so let's put a pin in that.
okay.
Back to the ketchup because this is important.
Okay, okay.
I drizzled a hefty
No, you
amount.
can't. Okay.
I
Drizzled a hefty amount. Okay.
This is
I will take the hefty
unnecessary. This has
though.
gone on a long time. How
It's
much
funny
was it?
because
I put a bunch of ketchup on my potatoes.
when Zia
Not
told me
okay.
about her wedding night, she mentioned that her husband drizzled a hefty amount. But
You need to calm down and do
I
it
am
slowly and
a lady.
patiently.
Yeah.
that's also from her wedding night, by the way.
That's it.
Something that I would never say.
No, he said.
I think it's broken.
It-
That's also it.
this
That
bell was from Bladtcast 100.
Literally
by the way.
cannot be broken.
wow.
It has
Yeah.
been through a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so you put some ketchup
Ketchup
on it,
is not
and
okay.
My wife feels the way that Amy does in the
That's
sense
why she's
that
amazing.
there's no
You're
ketchup in any breakfast food, just at a time of day. And I was like, so even McDonald's hash browns, my wife was like, no ketchup.
First
Oh, I've
of
never
all,
done that in a ketchup.
like, why would you ruin
Because
hash
it's basically-
browns consistency like that? Like, if it's
Because it's
something
basically
like
a
that,
French fry.
Make unclean what God has made clean, Christian.
All right, that's fair.
Thank you.
That's the smartest thing you've ever said.
The biblical.
That's fair. But
It's part of this.
I'm
makes it
behind
better.
the ketchup.
You're-
On
you're team
potatoes
ketchup?
especially.
Thank
Like,
you.
I don't
Can
want
I-
potatoes to
fries
begin
are not
with,
potatoes. They're technically they are.
I was going to say, wait a minute. I don't know where. Yeah, maybe a
Let's
Whataburger.
gut that out.
Big
Fries
things.
are not potatoes.
These are
this girl's
alternative
stupid.
facts. I have a question.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Now, I
Please,
like
you have
both.
the floor.
I could do both. I could do a hot, all three. I could do a hot sauce. I could do a sauce. I could do ketchup on my breakfast. You guys have to understand that the prime ingredient of both of those things is the same food.
Tomato.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could also do like real tomatoes.
So technically,
Sure.
Like
Yeah,
pico.
little chunky tomatoes. Yeah.
no one is wrong
I mean,
no.
they are.
and no one is right.
So here's
I'm right.
here's who's really wrong, and this is and
except
this
me, who eats all three of those.
I
things.
tried to defend Z. I was like, look, at least she didn't put it in her eggs because there's nothing like when somebody gets the big fluffy scrambled eggs
I like
and they put
ketchup
the
on an
ketchup
egg.
and then it
I
turns
love
pink.
ketchup on
No, you. Oh, thank God
eggs.
you guys are both over there. That's disgusting. I can't look at your
wish we
pink
had
eggs.
ketchup
Remind me to
packets.
never eat breakfast
Yeah.
with you.
Not,
You know
every,
what?
not every time, but
that's
sometimes I have a hankering for some ketchup on
Oh
my
no,
egg.
that's so
Yeah,
gross.
make it sweet,
No.
but I like salsa
No.
too, but nothing too spicy. I'm
Salsa's,
too white.
Amy, are you going to be okay? Are you going to need somebody to drive you home?
Like, I think I need medical assistance.
Yeah, this is the most
So-
concerned I've ever seen you.
Before my husband and I got engaged, I think we'd only been together maybe a month, and we had breakfast together.
Uh-oh.
And then he grabbed the ketchup, and I was like, "What are you doing?" I don't understand. And so I introduced him
Put
to
that
salsa.
cookie down.
That's exactly what I sound like.
Yeah.
And so we got salsa and stuff, and I was like, "Here, this is how you do it." And so he like started like easing his way into there.
You're supposed to love the person and marry them because of
Yeah.
who they are,
Yeah,
not who you want
but he
them
was
to
wrong.
be.
Hey,
He
let
was
me-
so
let me-
wrong.
let me-
He was
let
so
me-
He's the
wrong.
only divorced
And
person.
then-
in the
I was
room.
going to say, let me ask.
No, you're
what-
not. I'm divorced too.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
that's right.
Yeah, we have that in common.
I forgot.
Her divorce was
Battle of
after
the
6
divorce.
days.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very, very different.
Will's divorce
Second
shows
marriage.
more what happens when people try to change who they actually are.
It's true.
Yeah.
And another friend of mine who's been on the Bladtcast before, I actually, maybe I won't give him the shout out. He got divorced and he changed during that first marriage. So much happier in his second marriage because he's him now. And I'm like, well, yeah, why did you do that the first time?
Because you have to make a bunch of mistakes in order to learn from those mistakes. It's normal.
Exactly.
Well,
Thank
one of
you
them
very
shouldn't be
much.
getting married.
Back to sorry. I don't want to. We pulled away from her
back
story.
to yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I was
Well,
just
that's what
saying-
you're here for.
So she's prepping to divorce this husband.
Yeah,
Now she's
but this is
prepping-
before they're
great.
even
He's
engaged.
because like
Okay.
now and the thing is that there's a certain amount of like spiciness that he can handle.
Sure.
And that's okay. Like I don't want to change that. And like you know what?
Well, you physically
Give me
can't
this-
change that.
You will
And
eat
that's
this
okay.
ghost.
Like
Yeah.
I don't want him to be in pain while eating salsa. Like,
I am
it's
only going to
okay.
marry you if you eat this ghost pepper.
That's it. No.
I just
so-
made that joke, Christian.
I know. I restated it
Then
because
ding the bell.
Oh my god.
So now we've been together almost 8. It'll be 8 years in March.
Okay.
So yeah, now he can handle salsa
Yeah.
in his breakfast and like other kinds of foods.
I like salsa on breakfast. It's
And
good.
I will take the really spicy salsa.
so
Sounds like
That's
a
how it is,
like
so
a recovery
compromise.
story.
yeah.
Now he can eat again.
Now he can eat again. Well, you were able to help him through it.
You know,
Okay.
everything's right
So-
with the
He
world.
had gout in his foot, and he was just now he's
Lindsay,
walking. It's amazing.
as the resident single gal here,
gosh, yeah.
what
Single?
sort of single
you
gal?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Single gal.
Yeah, once again,
Yeah, I was
Christian.
Why
gonna
are you
say,
trying to-
Single gal.
Single
Hello.
gal.
Will, would you
Just
like
a
to
couple
get?
less gals?
Okay,
Yeah,
you know what?
yeah.
I'm
Will,
allowed to say it because she's my
if,
friend.
Yeah.
if you're going to
We're the same
misappropriate
process.
cultures, would you like to give us your pronouns?
Oh.
Sure.
What are your pronouns?
My actual pronouns, or do you want me to make a joke?
No, I'm
Is that
making a
what
bit.
you
I'm
want?
making a bit. So
Are you making fun of pronouns?
well, people who
You're
give.
so insensitive.
I'm making fun of Kamala Harris giving her pronouns in a CNN town hall very specifically because,
Oh, I
like, yeah,
didn't
you
see
know,
that. I didn't
you
see
know.
that. You know.
Anyway,
My pronouns would be he, him, by the way.
he, him.
He, him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine are Zim and Zephyr. Those are mine.
Or if I was
okay.
back in time and I was in It's a Wonderful Life, I would be that one character who said, hee-haw. That would be my pronouns.
Oh my God.
Remember that?
You save his
That's
life.
really out of left field.
You
yeah.
just send him a bunch of money.
Sam something.
Sam,
his name
yeah.
is.
So that sort of a thing, like, maybe early in a relationship, is there one of those like, it doesn't have, because ketchup on breakfast is fine with you, but is there one of those things that maybe would be a deal breaker for one of, would not be a deal breaker for one of these, especially Zia, who, like, I don't know.
I don't
can't
have
imagine.
any deal breakers.
Yeah.
So what are my
Yeah, like, is there one that comes to mind? It doesn't have to be from real life, but something like, oh man, if like a guy ever like did this and we were just started seeing each other for like a month, it's not worth it. Let's just hit the ejection button now.
The ejection button. I don't know. Mine are real easy ones. Like, don't be an asshole. Don't be really stupid.
Oh, so
That's-
Will Sterling is out?
No. Okay, sorry, Will.
I'm a big ass.
I didn't mean to hurt your
And he's
feelings.
very
fine.
stupid.
It's
So
fine.
He's
like,
super stupid.
Sorry,
Dumb
Yeehaw.
and mean.
Can we talk about my favorite thing from
I
your
knew
dating
you were gonna
history?
go there. I was gonna make a joke about it, and then I didn't want to be the person that retold the story.
Well,
but
I
ahead,
think we've
set me
told
up.
it on the show,
Set
but
me
we
up,
haven't
Hal.
told it in front of this audience.
Oh, I want to know
That there was a
endless
fella you were with
Yes.
who
Let's just
was
call him by his name.
a fella who was very particular. Oh, you gave his name.
Yeah, Shane. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
What?
Does he
Whatever.
follow you on
There's a lot of
Instagram?
Shanes out
No.
No.
there
okay.
are a lot of Shanes out
So
there.
he asked. He had something very specific that bothered him. This was his deal breaker.
Yes, yes.
So go ahead.
So,
go ahead.
So Shane was
What's that?
I guess a clean freak in a way.
Oh, I can't.
Okay, so the first night that I ever stayed over at Shane's house, he just
That's for you.
made a very interesting request, which was this: when you get in my bed, it can only be after you've showered. One, and two, before you get into the bed, you have to be wearing clean clothes, and three, after you sit on the bed, you have to rub your feet together off of the bed so that anything that might be on your feet comes off and falls onto the floor.
Wow, it sounds like sex with this guy is real
I was
fun.
gonna
Oh, the
say-
sex was great, but like the cricket act
Was it
before
really?
I got in bed was not great. So
Yeah. So like
Where is
get.
he now? Like, what is his life like now?
And
don't know.
He's in the phantom
It's
zone.
terrible, of course, because we're not together.
How long did you put up with this?
Oh, that was
behavior?
only like 4 months. It was pretty short.
That's a long
actually
time to be.
longer than-
That's
kind
a
of the worst part.
that's a
of it.
long time to be wiping your
The rest
feet.
of it was pretty normal.
Yeah, which
My bed is so dirty. I have a dog. I mean, it's like it's so
you have a
gross. I
dog.
got a
It's
dog.
hard,
It's like
yeah.
there's no keeping
Yeah,
it
but
clean.
but Will,
How-
did you rescue the dog or did he rescue you? I'll take my answer off the air.
Is the picture that you saw.
So do you make the dog rub
cute.
his paws together
Yes, I
before
do.
he gets in
And I
bed?
smell his little paws. They smell like Fritos.
Oh
He
my
has Frito
gosh.
paws. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, and anytime that there's any conversation between us and
Sure.
dirt comes up, I always
That's the
make
one
sure
you're gonna pull on
I
me?
always mention that you have to wipe your feet. You
Yeah,
know, if
yeah.
you're- because Lindsay used to
dirty
ride
feet.
horses.
Yeah. So
So
that
just
dirt
imagine how
just never
filthy she
left.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I rode horses too.
Really?
So did I.
Oh my gosh!
so
From Hawaii,
many.
they have
Did you ever ride horses?
I rode
I'm from
rodeos in
Texas,
Hawaii.
and that was.
Oh
how
wait,
it
you
was.
should have ridden horses, shouldn't you?
I did once on like a trail thing.
I mean, I did once too.
They're the best.
Well,
We should go rent horses after.
Ooh.
I'm so down.
Right after this,
Okay.
let's go.
yeah,
after
like
this.
immediately
My
after
skirt.
this.
Yes.
Oh my.
So there was a more serious aspect of the conversation that I wanted to save, but I obviously we had to get to the bottom of Ketchup Gate, and I feel like we don't have the answers. So
We
please,
don't. We really don't.
Let us know in the comments.
please let
That
us know in the
whole
chat if you're
investigation.
watching live. We'll get to the comments in a little bit, and if you're watching the archive version, tweet us at Bladtcast, BLADTCAST, just like the sign. By the way, credit to Stephen Lemieux who took the Bladtcast logo and added that 350 under
Wow.
it, and then also it's like moving and it's textured and.
And my friend Michelle Themey, who did design that logo.
Yeah, and also to probably Steve Ditko, who designed the amazing
style
Spider-Man
of-
logo,
Yes.
which I stole
right.
and paid no money for. So the other thing we were talking about is how Lindsey was nice enough to try and help both myself and Zia's husband get. If she burps, you can't ignore it.
I
You
get
can't.
her an
You
appreciation.
can't acknowledge
sorry.
it.
Robert
You just-
Redford gif, slow pan in.
We're,
nod.
we're
small
never
one.
we will never get anywhere if we pay attention to the noises she makes. So Lindsay was nice enough to try and help either myself or Zia's husband get a job
yeah.
doing a podcast
I tried, yeah.
with someone.
We appreciate
And
that.
We're not going to talk about who the person is, so don't ask, and I'll tell you off the air. But you're not going to know who she is anyway, so it's not.
so
How dare
I
you?
feel like I've had this conversation with
Is it a
you.
sports person?
No.
I know a lot of sports
No,
people.
it's not a
you're
sports
not.
person.
Really?
No.
Do you like sports and beer?
I love sports and beer.
Would you like beer?
Would've never guessed.
Don't try to soft sell beer. You do love beer.
I love
yeah.
beer so much that by proxy I like sports.
That's how that works.
It's interesting.
You just get drunk enough
So-
and nobody questions you.
So in trying to negotiate for this job, there was a lot expected of the person that would be the producer. Me, it would be a lot like I do for the Dennis Miller option on Westwood One, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, come on.
Oh, am I supposed to do that? Sorry.
Yeah, gotta sell the soap. Okay. So, and so I would have been on air. I would have been booking guests. I would have been getting locations for recording this podcast and a lot of other technical behind the scenes work. And I asked around. I felt like I got a good starting rate of this is not what I expected to be paid. I expected there to be a back and forth. And anyone who's ever negotiated for salary in any industry, you start higher than you expect to actually get. So I said $1,000. And I didn't expect to get $1,000 a show. But by the way, if she'd said yes, I would.
You wouldn't have backpedaled?
I probably would have quit with Dennis because I was like, really? Okay. I'm like, no. How about 800? And so we had a really good conversation. I think I understood the vision for what this show was, and I think I would have been at least a decent fit. And what I got back was a response that, well, the top podcasts really pay their producers $400, maybe $500. And I'm like, okay. So I even said, like, look, that's just a starting point. It's totally negotiable. Let's find out, what does it do? No, there's no more conversation. I never heard from her again. I did talk to your friend. Yeah,
Sure.
well, yeah, but let's not get too specific about what this is.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but the guy
you're not gonna say anything bad about him.
No, I know. I just don't want to talk about what this show was because
Okay.
we're not going
Fair.
to talk as kindly about her in a minute.
Fair.
This was just like, okay, so just, all right, a different view on where... Do you want to share with the rest of the class, ladies?
Oh.
Huh? What?
You realize you have
we can
microphones
hear you,
strapped
right?
to your
And
face.
if you do whisper to each other, you can...
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
what is your favorite? No, not yet.
No.
Don't distract me. You're trying very hard. And I was just like, okay, well, I guess that's just where it is. But it seems to me as it's like for a lot of people in the various industries that we're in, entertainment, but specifically like podcasting, it seems like a lot of people don't really want to pay,
No, they
first
don't.
of all, anything.
Anything. Any fucking... Listen, you want to get me started?
No, this is why-
paying
yeah,
you what
well-
you're worth? Oh, man.
Yeah,
It's
and by
a
the way,
shitty industry, and I hate everyone.
I don't
Do
know
you
that...
have an opinion?
No.
I don't.
Wait,
I don't necessarily think I'm worth $1,000 a show.
So good.
But I'm so.
You are worth it. Don't say that about yourself,
Look, I'm worth
Christian.
more than 400.
You're
That's
worth
how
more
I
than
feel.
Come on,
$1,000.
Gene Simmons just told us you have to
Christian.
talk good about yourself.
Christian, you are worth so much money.
Thank you.
I could be selling you on kissonline.com.
That is hot.
Moneybag soda.
That
we
is
could
so
put
sexy.
We could put makeup on you. You could be, what would we call
We
you?
have kiss
We would
condoms.
call you the ladybug.
And kiss coffins. We'll
I
get you
see a
when you're
love
coming and
connection
going.
happening right now. Just from this
Wait,
voice,
from Will and
literally,
I?
like, I'm in.
From Will and I?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been going on for a long time.
You and Will not.
Very
Well,
long
I knew
time.
about that.
Yeah.
I was talking more about Lindsey.
So, but what I really
As soon
wanted.
as the Gene Simmons voice came out, Lindsey
I
was
know,
like,
I was
I'm
just
in.
Well, she just.
Hard eyes.
You know,
I was
hard
gonna say,
out
it's
all the
important
time.
that I say it's everyone's impression of Rob Lorich's impression of Gene Simmons.
Yes. And by the way, Lindsay also met Gene Simmons the same day I met him.
Yeah.
So just Amy.
It was amazing.
It's like
Oh,
I'm
no.
1 degree away.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
two people. Have you ever met
So
Gene
it's
Simmons,
just
Will?
No, but I got a personalized video from Tommy Thayer.
Oh yeah, he did. That's right. I forgot about that. That was pretty fun. Yeah, because a friend of his ran into Tommy Thayer, the current spaceman, let's say,
Wow.
and said, "Can you film a video for my friend?" And he did. So that's fun.
That's a
Nice
good
of him.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So the actual topic that this made me think of is because of what. The three of us all do shows at Afterbuzz and Popcorn Talk, which is the same network, and then also various side hustles. And, look, the idea of a lot of it is, you're trying to get experience, get a reel together so that you can get the jobs that are, bigger full-time so that maybe you don't have to do the day jobs, I mean...
I have a whole other thing about side
Please.
hustles.
Yeah,
but
well,
that's
we'll
another
get to
day.
all the hustles.
That's
Fucking
another
God.
day.
So,
It's all a day's
and
hustle.
Just a clear
it just
indication
seems
of
like
struggling. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very much in the podcast industry, but just in general, it's like, so we don't really have a budget, but we totally give you experience. And it's like
Exposure.
experience and exposure. Yeah,
It sound
exposure.
like the whiniest thing in the world, but it's true. And anyone who's like aged out of this, I just need you to understand that your generation before you also hated you. But millennials and younger
Oh my gosh.
are sort of seen as not really having a whole lot of value because we are on social media all the time, which is a legitimate job, and now marketing for fucking everything. So people don't. It's like, so if we just, what do? You just like tweet? It's like, no.
A lot goes into
Marketing
it.
strategies and
You
tons and
fucking
tons of
assholes.
things.
Research.
But so with
Research.
podcasting,
Your
it's like,
audience.
you just like.
Exactly.
You just like record it and then like cut it, and I'm like, yeah, I also have to sit there for hours with people I don't fucking want to hear talk.
Right.
Well, and also.
Wait, why did you look at me when you said that?
Well,
did.
he's told me.
I do.
He
Because
texted
I've
me
yet
about
to make
this
any
when
money
we're
on
around.
this.
No, it's
Terrible.
I know.
Podcasting and now podcasting is the new thing.
Well, and editing is not that easy either. Like video
No, it's
editing
super time-consuming.
and audio editing is. Amy knows. Amy, I learned how to video edit with Amy at the same. That's how I learned, and it's like making 2-minute videos. When you're pulling all the assets and everything,
It takes forever.
It takes me, especially me, because I was just learning and like I've gotten it down, but it still takes hours
Right.
Yeah.
to do 2 minutes.
Right.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
And even like, look, this is the definition of a vanity project, the Bladtcast, because I don't pay myself a salary to do it. But the amount of time that it takes to edit like one stupid episode of this thing, and it's why I can't listen to it back, because I start to hear how much I hate my voice. Even right now, I'm thinking about how much I hate my voice.
After
And I'm
all
like,
these years, you haven't gotten used to your
No,
voice.
no, no,
Everybody
I
feels
quite
like
love the sound of my own
Yeah.
voice.
Oh,
Tell me more.
wow.
Do you really?
I mean, I like the sound of
I
your
was going to
voice.
say because you have a nice voice.
This is
Will.
true.
Is that healthy?
But listen to
Lindsay?
okay, wait. Shh. Let's all listen. Will?
There once was a man from Nantucket.
Oh, the
sailed
heart
to
eyes
Peru
are coming back.
in a bucket.
I agree. I like. Yeah, you got a good
Yeah,
voice.
you have a great
Okay.
voice. And
No,
look,
no,
I
no.
don't. I hate the sound of my voice.
I just see
I
myself
don't have
as-
Sam Roberts' voice, but I don't have a great voice.
Who's
Your
Sam?
voice isn't
Who's
bad.
Sam Roberts?
Sam
Is that a
Roberts.
bad
Exactly.
voice?
Yeah.
He's Jim Norton's co-host.
Jim and Sam, and that's what you know how we're always referencing Chip, and you're like, that's not a real person.
No,
Who the
that's
fuck is
that's
that?
Jeff's thing. That's Jeff's thing.
Oh,
He's not a real
yeah.
person.
I know
So-
Dr.
right.
Chimp. That's what I know.
Oh,
Yeah, because-
I was supposed to
It's
not ever do that on
Chip
camera. I
Doctor.
forgot. I actually forgot about that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
do.
telling Dennis
Sorry, well, on Monday.
Is
Yeah.
Dr. Chimp still on the Dennis Miller?
He occasionally gets asked questions. Yeah, the chimp doctor. We're like 8 topics away from where we were.
Sorry.
So Will has a nice voice, but working hard to do video. So 2-minute video would take you how long?
It would, for me, especially if I'm writing the script and then doing the voiceover and then editing the voiceover, and Amy's losing it over here. I love this.
She's very quiet.
And I know that I'm slow, and if there's something new that I want to do and I have an idea, I have to look up how to do it because I'm teaching myself. I taught
Yeah.
myself, so that takes even longer. But if I'm just doing like a simple thing and pulling the material and cutting the clip that I want from that material that I pulled, it'll take me at least 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
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 Well, like even it also depends on like what kind of video it is. Like
Right.
if it's literally from scratch and it all has to be pictures, then forget that. Like that's gonna take a while. Even if you are like a seasoned pro or whatever.
Sure.
Because you might not get the best picture and you're like, oh crap, like the quality needs to look good. And then they can't all look the same. Like horizontal, like gotta mix it up. And then the transitions. And then the music. Like it's just a lot.
Yeah.
I was working for this company for maybe almost 4 months, I want to say. And they said, hey guys, like at that point I was writing for them.
Oh, I remember this. This is when I knew you. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like
Because
writing.
you don't know her now.
No. This happened since.
This is when I knew you.
She has like 20 years from before she met me or whatever, you know,
I'm
like
actually- what do you
15.
mean?
You look remarkably young.
I was
for
gonna
a
say,
45.
like,
Yeah.
12
She
years.
is.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
you're
the other
only
day someone
13.
thought I was 16. I was like, that's sweet.
You're like, I love you.
I don't even
That's
get
great.
carded anymore.
Me neither.
What the hell?
So I'm like, okay.
rude.
It's
Guess we're
it's
not
LA.
doing that.
Yeah.
I do.
But yeah, so like at that job.
You, Will.
Bad timing.
When I go to clubs, not at the 7-Eleven where I bought this little something, I didn't get carded.
Okay.
So yeah, so I had to like produce, write. I mean, the producing part was just kind of more of me being like, hey, I think we should do this story. But for the most part, just write, shoot, edit, and then send it to them. So that was like a Monday through Friday job, and it was great. It paid very well. Then they decided like, hey guys, like we're not gonna need you on camera anymore. And I was like, all right, cool. So then what do I do? And they're like, well, you can do scripts, 10-minute scripts, and you will have to edit them as well. And it's just gonna be video.
Oh
And
no.
I'm like, how much? Because I was already doing like, I mean, at that point it was like, I think 3-minute videos, but with me on camera, and then you're like, cool,
Much
I can use
easier.
myself,
Yeah.
and then with a little bit, they were saying, I think it was 100.
That's it?
For a
100?
10-minute
$100
video.
an episode?
Absolutely
Or a
not.
video?
A video for a 10-minute script and edit.
No.
And I was like, that doesn't even cover like 2 minutes.
That's ridiculous.
You're insane. And so I was like, how about we like work together? And like, well, that's what we have. I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that.
Good for you.
I'll like do something else, but not that. And they're like, okay.
People have no understanding of like media and technology. And,
They
like,
really don't.
It's like, it's simple because it operates simple. It's like a car, which is basically magic until it breaks. You know what I mean? You don't think about it.
Yeah.
The only thing you have to do is put gas in it and every once in a while change the tire oil, blah, 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 blah. But for the most part, you're like, this is a fucking gift from God. Same with the iPhone. But as soon as it breaks or something happens, you're like, everything is ruined indefinitely and I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
And so every job like that, it's like if that person's like, bye, and you have to hire 3-4 people to replace that one person, you're like, oh my gosh, this is actually this is hard.
Yeah, but they benefit from having the 4 people doing the individual jobs
Right.
because you don't pay benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, you're right about
But I
that.
wasn't getting benefits as it was.
Right. No,
Even
for
like
that.
full time, but no benefits.
Wow.
I always thought like growing up, I'm like, yeah, full time equals benefits. No.
No, but I mean,
Not
that's
in
also like,
entertainment.
yeah, it's like, well, no, I mean, you
depends.
work 38 hours a week, so you're not full time. And it's like, yeah, but I
Right.
actually work 50. It's like, but we only pay you for 38, so it's the same
Right.
thing. I had a job at a major studio right down the street from here, Universal. We had to take pretend breaks that we didn't take in the middle of the day so that they wouldn't pay us overtime. Except that I had a job where I was kind of on call all weekend, so I got overtime and golden time, and then they stopped wanting me around. So maybe I was too expensive. But
No, that's exactly what it is. That
Yeah.
they just eliminate those positions so they don't have to pay it out.
yeah. And look, I don't want to get too bogged down in the political aspect of this, but this idea of like, well, the minimum wage should be $15 is fine from a livable standpoint. I can't imagine. But then it's like a lot of businesses who have had that enforced in those states are like, well, now we have less people because we're going to spend about the same budget on salary. It's just divided up amongst less people, and now we have those disease-ridden touchscreens at McDonald's that apparently they're covered in fecal matter, from what I've heard. Those touch well, those,
I thought the whole world is basically covered in fecal matter.
Yeah.
Even
not
the
wrong.
guy that
Not-
you dated with
not-
the clean bed.
Yeah, that's true.
There's microbiomes in there that are fucking with his world. That's why he's so
Can
crazy.
I get you on the phone with him?
Yes, I
Okay,
can.
cool.
I'm like, bro, it's
gonna be
fine.
great.
The world is dirty. Everybody's dirty.
By the way,
By the way, you missed out on Lindsay.
Yeah.
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Also, you
make
done
make
fucked
sure
up,
that make sure
buddy.
that
Yeah,
Shane knows.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I have another side hustle for you, Will.
No.
Come
I hate
on,
the term
come
side.
on.
I hate the term side.
Well,
hustle.
Hear
just
me out.
listen, hear her
Hear me
out.
out.
The
Okay.
part-time
Yeah.
job, right?
Hustle.
ASMR.
It's just another fucking job. I do like ASMR. I mean, I don't like it.
Oh.
like
No,
it,
no, no,
But I
like,
like the idea
You
of it.
have the perfect
do.
voice for it.
Can you?
Unwrapping a Werther's original?
Yeah, there you go. That's great.
All
Perfect.
Like, ooh, it's like the candy in your jar, in your
like your
grandma's
go-to,
candy
just-
jar.
It's the creepiest
In
thing
the
ever.
center of the. It's like ghosts are talking.
Zia, can you describe? Amy, can you describe brushing your
It's
hair
more like
in a whisper
whispering.
right now?
Yeah.
Just be like,
Brushing my-
and now I'm brushing my. Like that's what it is. There's money to be had in this.
There is.
Running
A lot.
the
Yep, yeah, here you go.
bristles
whisper like
through my long brown hair.
Yeah.
And I'm curling the end as I do it.
And I don't
My
have
hair's
to
still a
hang
little
on.
wet because I just got out of the shower.
Mine would be like trashy fun stuff. I'd be like, I'm gonna open this beer
with my teeth.
Oh.
Everybody's gonna take shots.
Oh my god, mine would be like
Whiskey for everyone.
with my cat.
So you'd be talking to
yeah.
Spielberg, your
Yeah,
cat.
yeah.
Shout out Spielberg.
Shut up, I love you, I miss you. And yeah, and then he'd be purring. I think that'd be great.
That's
That would be
exciting.
great.
Yeah.
Cat
That
purses.
sounds.
That's
I
a
would
good
like that. I'm
ASMR.
into that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love
So,
his purrs.
Lindsay, as someone who
Oh, yeah.
you work for Westwood One, but you do have side hustles and
A lot
other
of
podcasts
them.
and things. Do you feel like it's? Are you likely to get fired if you ask for? I feel like I should be paid what I'm worth. Do you have anything where you feel like you're paid what you're worth? Because I felt like I knew the answer, but
But
except
I'm not worried about getting fired. Like
Right.
I had a conversation with Westwood One. They tried to assign me another show, and I
Right.
said not until you pay me more money.
and then they're like, oh,
Good
okay,
for
so
you.
someone else will do that show.
And they were
Good
like,
for you.
well, who are we gonna have do it? And I was like, I don't know. Apparently, you got the coverage because you don't need me.
Yeah.
I almost said something that could have gotten us in trouble.
Don't say
It's
that.
like your problem. What?
Yeah. But then any of the side things you do you feel like you set a reasonable rate, and maybe not that you wouldn't take more money, but do you feel like the negotiation, was it okay, or was it more like what I described, where you picked a number and they came in way under, and you're like, well, I guess I'll still do the job because I want money?
No, at the freelance freelance work actually that I do for Joe, the guy that worked with the podcast host,
Will not name,
did not,
correct.
Yeah.
He who must not be named.
He pays me pretty well.
Oh, that's right.
So,
Yeah,
and I
okay.
set that rate.
Okay, well, that's good.
Okay.
So that's
Good.
one, but it's a very small project.
And Will, you obviously were straight fire when this first came up. You're very worked up about it. So you do a lot of what you do. So you work for Podcast One. I mean,
Yes.
Oh, you
but
do?
also on the
But I
side.
am on salary.
Yes, and then
have
on the side you
benefits.
do a lot of other stuff.
Yes. Which
Right?
is to
I know
say,
his
though,
benefits.
I
That
just
even
forgot what's the
still,
one.
especially in this economy in this city, a salary doesn't necessarily mean a good thing. You know what
No.
I mean? I wasn't even making that much money when I was working for the Dennis Miller Show. Christian, you knew how much I was making. It was a lot.
I do.
I'm curious.
And I was doing two people's jobs. But that's another conversation.
Well, and the other thing too is what people don't realize when you
We're
get
talking about Liev.
Yeah, Christian's
Liev
terrible.
couldn't do anything. You know that.
He didn't really do much. So anyway, so you didn't make much. I know. I do know what you
kidding,
made.
I'm kidding.
But also on
But
top of that, you did get. That was
Oh.
completely unintentional. It's probably time to,
say, why
it's
is
time
this
to turn it
funny?
over. I
Like-
think. But
Did have the
you had
luxury of doing the
benefits, and at
Bladtcast.
that point
Yeah.
you were married.
Yeah.
So like benefits for two people.
Sure.
No,
That's
what's
great.
funny is that
That's
like
fair.
now that I'm single, making more money, it's like I look back and I'm like, wait, how was everything fine when I made like half of what I'm making right now? You know what I mean? Like
second person
less
income.
debt, second person, tons
Yeah.
of shit.
Sure.
But even in
Love,
freelancing
maybe.
stuff, which I still have to work, like there's a story, and I'm still working for these people, and I hate it because I'm trying to pay down credit card debt. I pitched a number, they did not respond. Went around me to my buddy who runs like a network that
Right.
they have already worked with. Asked him to do the thing. He said yes at the rate they originally offered me, and then he said, "Now it's you can have it," because I was working with him, and it came back to me at the lesser rate. And I was like, cool. I would have even like accepted this if we had a conversation because it wasn't that big of a difference.
Wow.
Right.
But they thought that they were like kind of like, oh, never mind, we'll do it with this guy's company, and they didn't know that I was working with him.
Wow.
So I have cool. So this relationship begins with your inherent devaluing of my
yeah.
work. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. It's great being
sucks.
Yeah, and look,
being a
it's
millennial. It's all about TikTok and
by the way, you were
casual
talking.
sex.
You were
know?
talking. Well, TikTok and
Well,
casual
it's like,
sex.
I just the idea of like being young is like you guys, are, but actually young people are having much less sex these days.
I mean, I
Really?
There's a statistic that young people
Yeah.
are fucking less.
Are they
that.
tired?
yes,
They're tired
they do get tired.
from all the TikToking and all the social media.
It's true. Just exhausted.
It's really, the TikToking is pretty exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It's not industry specific. Our friend Jeff Winstead in the chat says this doesn't sound all different from the art world, where they'll say,
I can only imagine.
"You like to draw, right? So
Yeah.
it's not even work." That's his quote.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, oh, you're drawing. That's fun, right?
Yeah.
So
And
basically,
look,
here's your hobby
It's
given
true.
to
Look,
you. Yeah.
look, I love to talk about Marvel movies and TV and like Star Trek and all that stuff. But it's like, would you like to be paid for it? Well, yeah, absolutely. But the idea is you go and try and get it from somewhere. And when somebody has money and they're looking to hire you, you should expect to pay for. I don't even know exactly what this job would have entailed, except
Yeah.
for some headaches.
Yeah, no, you kind
Yeah.
of do. Like you would
Yeah.
have to do that. That's the thing, because when my husband went up for this job, also
Yeah,
it was
because I wasn't interested and her husband wasn't interested.
Yeah.
Also for money reasons.
Well,
because
no,
it wouldn't-
they actually didn't even get to the money talks because my husband works full time right now.
Right.
And they were like, well,
Can we say the name of the show he works for? Because everybody in the Bladtcast knows what that show is.
Yeah, we talked about
We're just going to
it.
say that he works there.
we could just say that he works there. He works for the Zach Sang.
Zach
So-
Sang,
Zach
not
Sang!
not
Don't
Zach
you
Sang and the
no,
gang.
Don't,
Not Zach Sang and the gang.
Don't do
No.
the bell.
It used to be Zach Sang and the gang. Just
No.
Zach Sang. But for the gang, it's like pouring one out.
I'm gonna
for your
pour one out
homies.
for the gang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the
Okay.
gang.
Into my mouth.
But when because he works full time on that show, and they were like, and he was like, well, how much is this gonna pay? Like, is this something? And they were like, oh, well, we thought you could do both. And he's like, when am I gonna do both? I'm there full time. I'm there 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
I
Are
might
you-
have given him the wrong idea because I work full time and then I was doing 2 shows on the
And-
side for him full time.
And
so.
I could have done both.
I might
Because
have-
I don't work full time for
You could have
Dennis.
done
I
both,
work
yeah.
part time for Dennis. And I was like, I would make it work. I would do both. Especially if you're going to take the exorbitant asking price that I'm going to put out
Yeah.
there. I will make it work.
Yeah.
So,
then you
yeah.
learn these people who have all this fucking money, and people make these big asks, and they say okay, and you're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why tech startups are also now all starting to fucking fail because it's
Yeah.
also people our age who have the opposite, which is too much money and no understanding of like how to spend it properly. So like, we got a barista. There's a whole everybody gets food truck food every day, and also look at there's a pinball machine. Everything's free, and then it's like 3 years later, like, oh my god, we have no money. What happened? It's like because you guys are idiots and you spent it on stupid shit and overpaid people, including yourselves.
Like a Parks and Rec episode.
Was there? Yeah, I've never seen that show.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Me neither. That's a great show from season 2 onward. Once Brandanowitz was gone.
I gotta start at the beginning.
Don't pretend.
No,
Brandanowitz was
the entire show.
No, Brandanowitz was terrible. It's like the first 6 episodes of The Office. It's so much better after that. Yes, the American Office. The American Office.
The American Office. They are a little bit rough.
Yeah.
But I feel like Parks and Rec started off easier. But I also started with The Office, so I got used to that tone and then just went straight into
Parks and Rec was pretty good at first. But then it's great. And the dynamic having Rob Lowe, not having Brandanowitz around was a bad character. It's just but I love fat Chris Pratt. That just think back to a simpler time when Chris Pratt was fat.
A simpler time.
You know?
I can't imagine.
When he wasn't.
Oh, you can't imagine.
Yeah.
I'll
engaged to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter.
They're married now.
Oh, they're married.
Yeah, and he's Star-Lord, by the way.
Chris, call me. We call that a rebound. You're in trouble, my friend. This is. What? You're looking for wife number 3 now. It's only a matter of time. Shortly after Anna Faris and he split up, he was like with her, and then they got married, and I was like, no.
But why did he and Anna Faris split up?
I heard he's a little bit of a
little something on the side.
He's a
little mystique on the side.
Talk about a side hustle.
J-Law is a side hustle. Yeah.
Wait,
that's supposedly what broke up their marriage. Allegedly, this is rumors. It's out there in the world.
No, like we don't know.
This is what you hear.
So sweet. Amy, it's like we don't know anything.
We don't know. Like I've done jobs where it's like, ooh, did this person? I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That's their life.
I don't care.
That's all I got.
No, but like we are slightly interested.
I don't care.
But
Tell me more.
But like I do want to know. But I'm also like, geez, like there's so much that like they go through we don't even know, and I'm like, oh, and it just sucks. Like regardless, stuff happened, and now they're here. And so I just hope that both parties are equally happy.
I hope they're both happy. Did Anna Faris get remarried? I feel like she's with someone.
No. She's with someone.
Yeah, well, good for her.
Same for Jenna Dewan and Channing Tatum. They have each found their people.
Amy, why do you have to be such a good person?
I know.
You don't really fit into this room.
Like,
you're not a trash person like Z and I.
I'm so glad these super rich people are doing so great.
Yeah, I wish. I only wish happiness for rich people.
I was so worried.
I wish happiness for everyone, regardless
Speaking
of
of
how much money
the soup,
and this is why everybody loves Amy so much. We've talked about this.
Yes.
Christian and I have talked about this at length. We're like, how can you not love Amy? And this is why.
Oh,
like,
there's a lot of people that
they're assholes. Then. Like,
no, there's people you don't like, but I think everybody likes you.
No, there's plenty of people that don't like me, and I'm like, bring it on.
Okay, we'll get it. Yeah, right?
Wow, is that your aggressive voice?
Yeah. Amy Cassandra
Bring it on.
Amy Cassandra Martinez will cut a bitch if she has to. You know, right?
I'm excited. I'll tase them.
Can you use that word? Can you use the B word?
I don't cuss.
Like ever? What's the roughest word you say? Can you say? Would you say damn? Would you say damn it?
What about shit?
No.
I heard her say heck.
Look at her. She looks like
are
she
you
gets so blessed.
Are you a religious person?
Like, yeah, God's cool. But
Okay.
like, I don't go
It's
to
not.
church.
That's not like a
He can
thing.
say
Where
that
you're like,
here.
I can't swear because God will get mad.
Are
if I
you-
say
Oh no! I feel like God.
But you're
loves
okay
people.
when people use rough language around you, right?
No, like
So,
go,
like,
be yourself. Like if you want to cuss up a storm,
If when we had done the beginning of the show, if I had introduced next to you the hoary cunt face Zia,
Wait,
that would
what?
I don't like that at all.
I was literally
Now
adjusting
you
my
have to say
headset
it
because
again.
they're falling off.
You have to say it again.
I have to say it again.
Please say it again, please.
So,
Even
somebody's phone is on. No, mine's
Oh, boy,
not on.
man.
Okay,
I thought
so
I was the nice person in the room, and then we meet, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, she's so nice."
She
she
out wills Will.
Yeah.
So if I had started off the show and said, and of course next to her is that hoary cunt face Zia.
We're not supposed to laugh at this. We're supposed to be really upset.
What are you supposed to
We're supposed to be
say?
upset.
What do you? Well,
Christian?
How do you distance yourself from that?
Bad
Oh, boy.
job.
Oh boy.
You can't say that. Oh boy. That's
So
Let it be on
that
this
you didn't
YouTube
start
stream
like
record that we're not okay with this. All right.
yeah, that's
When
fine.
I become famous in 10 years and somebody pulls this moment, I'm not happy about it.
These opinions are
They're
not
dumb.
I'm not gonna
my
ring that
own.
You're
bell.
gonna
But
really.
you know what though? The problem is they're
bring
gonna cut it up and make it look like you're they're gonna cut
You're right.
just to the moment where you're
Oh,
laughing.
yeah.
And you're gonna be
You know,
fucked
But you
anyway.
know what? President Obama yesterday said cancel culture
we're talking about
is not
this.
productive.
We
And I was
were
like,
talking about
thank you,
that
Mr. President.
in the car. I was so when we were driving here, we were literally talking about that because I was like, I'm
about
so
Obama,
happy
talking
that
about cancel culture?
Yeah.
I'm so happy that he said that. I was
Right.
like, that's amazing.
Because-
Actually, they were talking about you talking about Obama. Obama
Yeah,
talking about
we were talking. It's like I know Will's going to talk about this.
Hashtag not my president.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly,
You know, that's me.
Well,
I'm that
also,
guy.
hashtag where's the birth certificate? Hashtag where's the real birth certificate? That's a reference back to the old Dennis Miller show. We had a mysterious visitor from the East, Dr. Jerome Corsi. He had a book coming out that he was promoting for months called Where's the Birth Certificate?
Right.
And then the birth certificate came out, and he immediately started promoting his new book, Where's the Real Birth Certificate?
oh my
I thought that was Dennis's joke.
No,
about it.
I know.
That was
yeah.
really happening.
good.
No, if you look, he has a book, Where's the Birth Certificate? And then he has another book called Where's the Real Birth Certificate?
It's the real birth certificate.
But yeah, I think that was one of the things. Yeah, I mean, Zia and I were talking about that. And, obviously the cancel culture, for somebody like Obama to speak.
A whole episode about this too
Yeah,
recently.
we had to talk about it recently.
Yeah.
And, for Obama to actually take the time and be like, yeah, I don't think that's helping things. It's like.
Well, he's
it's like-
right.
Like just
growth and change. Now,
just-
do some people deserve to have their platform taken away from them because they're fucking like neo-Nazis? Absolutely.
Well, yes, but
Oh,
there's
I
a
hope you're
big
not talking about
difference
Alex
between-
Jones because the lizard people are actually looking to invade us, and I should have my.
My
Go ahead.
favorite clip is
not mine.
when
It's
he
gotta be yours.
he believes that some water is turning the frogs gay. He's like,
But
it's
the
turning
frog-
the frogs gay.
But the
I'm like,
frogs were
sorry,
already
what?
gay.
How did he know that the frogs were gay?
But when
First
weren't-
of all,
when weren't
it's
frogs-
fine. Second of all, how do you know?
When were frogs not gay?
I don't know.
Why did Kermit keep spurning the advances of Miss Piggy?
Oh,
She's hot,
Well,
You're saying that Kermit.
right?
I don't.
I did see them get married in Muppet Stick Manhattan, though.
That's true. It was annulled
Yeah.
shortly thereafter.
Maybe
Faster
it
than
was
Zia's
just
married.
like a cover up.
So,
Maybe he just he didn't feel like he could come out at that time.
He was like,
Well, not at that time.
I'm not sure how I
'Cause
feel
it
about
was,
this.
you know.
But,
but when Kermit did come out of the closet, what did he say?
Closet?
How does he?
what?
How does he like? I'm glad. I was just like, God, I've known you for so long.
But I
And
was like,
our shorthand is
This
so
is a
bad.
terrible setup because you inferred Kermit the Frog was gay, and then he's like, when he came out of the closet, what did he do? And I was like, I wouldn't know. You made this weird, absurd reference. You've only set me up for failure.
Zia submitted the answer. Go down on Fozzie Bear, and that was not accepted. Sorry, so we did not say
Waka
that.
waka, tell me about it. Whoa.
I'm so glad we're talking about the important things today.
Yeah. I agree.
We got to the ketchup. I mean, that was pretty good. So
Amy took a deep breath.
I know you're still upset for what I called
Amy's
Zia.
very
No,
quiet.
Like
I
you do
just
understand,
can't
you do
believe
understand the
my eyes had
nature
to
of
see
Zia
that
and my
today.
relationship, right? I mean, that's
But
all we
I
do.
will say this because it's important to mention that kind of thing and saying, well, it's our friendship is akin to somebody saying, like, I could say the N-word because I have that kind of relationship.
You mean like how Chevy
my
Chase
black
says that
friends.
he can say it because Richard Pryor told him he's allowed to?
Exactly.
Okay.
Look, in all seriousness,
I know
though,
she's
like,
okay with it. That's the thing. It's like, I know
But-
that it's fine. But
yeah.
I only do it because
I
other
think
people hear me
that-
say it.
And,
it's,
right.
you know.
And then I do it back. And to
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am a hoary
I
cunt
do-
face,
well,
so
and
I
also-
deserve it. Yeah.
I mean, I just
I'm
call
sorry.
you fat and old all the time. I'm just like
Amy
this
is
fat
like,
old guy.
Oh wait, since when am I
Seeing
fat?
God for the first time. She's like,
shit.
this is too much.
Is that new?
She's in, yeah.
No, honestly, like I'm used to hearing. Okay, not used to, but like I've heard it before, like off camera.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
all
my thing. I'm like,
bourbon.
Yeah.
oh,
It is our thing. It is
you
our thing.
guys, you're what?
But also in all seriousness, in a serious moment, I call Christian semi regularly when I have panic attacks.
That's true.
And he always picks up because I get them mostly. Well, I get them a lot, but when I drive and lately when I drive on freeways, which is really sucking. It
Which is
sucks.
hard to drive anywhere here and not get on the
be
freeway.
on a freeway.
Sure.
So I've had to call Christian many times. What helps for me is to talk to someone because
Yeah.
it keeps my mind on like the conversation,
Sure.
and it'll sort of take my mind off of the racing heart and feeling like I can't
Wait,
breathe.
why are you letting people think I'm a good person? This is not going to help.
know,
I'm
this is
so
so
cool.
Christian is a bad
I have
person.
built up this
Christian's a
really cool.
bad guy.
I am definitely.
You deserve to be canceled, Christian.
Yeah, you're canceled. So anyway, he doesn't help at all, and he just really sucks.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
see,
I was
you are
saved it at the
oppressive.
end.
She has
You
Stockholm
got
syndrome.
him.
Yeah.
She is only saying these things about you because you keep her captive and you make her come here and do this fucking podcast.
Yeah, that's
That-
why I've been
that
on
part
it
is-
so many fucking times.
That part is
Yeah.
kind of true, actually. No, but that's why we started doing it on Thursdays after Marvel Movie News. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you're here anyway.
Yeah, he is.
So that is the thing that I'm criticizing other people for, because are any of you getting paid here today?
Absolutely
so
not.
What Will said about how
you
people
pay?
have no
I thought you were
regard.
buying
Will you pay
lunch
for this beer?
after.
We already ate. But like how
You guys go ahead.
we're good. Yeah, we're good.
All right, we already ate. I'm full.
We're good.
Will's got it. Will's got
I'm
it.
gonna throw it.
Yeah, Will does. Yeah.
I don't even know what I do with my
Yeah.
leftovers.
Yes,
I think I left them in the car. Ugh.
You're what?
Remember, I had leftovers. I think I got to throw them away now. Isn't that so sad?
Christian.
I know.
They were pasta too.
Yeah, it would have been
Also
good.
breakfast.
Anyway, it was a good breakfast pasta. But
That
what
was
Will was saying before, like people don't value millennials. If it like. I'd be here talking by myself without millennials. So
That's right. Yeah,
you're rich
but I
with
don't pay.
millennials.
I just
Yeah.
don't pay. You know.
But the thing is, I think we understand that this show doesn't make money.
We're not here because we're like,
Oh.
oh, God, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
fucking job. Like,
Yeah.
Look,
Oh, I was here for the
You're- we're hanging
exposure.
out.
Was I wrong?
you're here for the exposure.
No, the exposure.
And by the
You're
way,
gonna still get the exposure.
Lindsey is the
Gonna
only one
get-
who gets to go home with a Bladtcast mug because everyone else has one already.
Oh, wow.
And these
I
are
know.
actually the last.
Oh.
Yours did not break. I know.
Just
it.
want another podcast.
Yeah, these are the last 4, and I don't think we're gonna get a new order unless Matt and KC orders new ones for us.
Matt
Because
can
the
do
only
that.
reason we have the T-shirts, the only reason why we have the mugs, is Bladtcast Superfan at Sober as a Bird. That's right. Promote him, follow him. Matt and KC. He also sends us ribs every year.
Oh my gosh.
wow.
What a
What
nice
kind of-
We
guy.
also have
Amy was like ribs.
$100 to Bevmo
Yeah.
that we have not spent yet and have had it for almost a year.
Let's
and
go now.
I
For
bought
the beer.
my own beer to drink by myself apparently today, which makes me look like a drunk, but it's
Well,
fine.
Next time,
'Cause
bring
that's-
some whiskey.
God damn it.
Well,
When are we gonna
okay?
get-
So here's
I
what
thought
we
it was supposed to be for
So here's
$3.50.
what we've talked about: is that when we go, you said like you'll bring your little handheld recorder.
It's very easy.
So we have to coordinate that. So
this is your podcast.
Well, if you guys invite me, I could bring my Zoom H6.
oh,
She has an
she's
I have an H4.
Mine's better.
no, hers is way better.
I know it's better. I know.
Interview with Gene Simmons
But no, but if
recorded
we're-
on the
Yeah.
H6, by the way.
If we're running around though, we would just use the top part anyways, basically.
Oh, so it doesn't really matter.
I mean, I know I threatened you.
So important question from the chat.
Power and your clout and your ability to ask for what you're worth makes my manhood very, very threatened.
Oh, you can't
And
tell with your voice. Yeah,
Oh.
you wouldn't know.
I feel very threatened.
Should I just let you two talk for a little
Yeah,
while?
if you guys
Is this
can
all
clean
right?
the room.
Yeah.
Okay,
We-
great.
should we go get my breakfast out of the car?
Yeah, we should probably. Yeah.
Uvula Scrimshaw in the chat says,
What?
"Why is there no Bladtcast Patreon?" We have talked
Oh,
about
yeah.
this.
I'll take people's money.
Yeah.
Well, because there's nothing sadder than putting up a Patreon.
That's not
And you
true.
have zero. Like putting it up isn't
Well,
sad.
we would have one.
I don't think Matt wants to give us money every month. He just wants to do big purchases.
I'm not talking about Matt. I'm talking about whoever mentioned
Uvula
that.
Scrimshaw?
Uvula Scrimshaw.
Yeah. Wow.
You would have
That's
one.
even
cool.
like
That's a cool name.
$5
That's an
from like
interesting
10
name.
people. That's already $50.
See?
I know, man.
Yeah.
See, we could
But I
buy,
don't-
we could have more money for alcohol.
But let's
we
be
were not gonna
honest.
buy.
I'll give
So
50 cents every other month.
in the chat, thank you.
That's a very generous
in
contribution.
the chat. We have
Yeah.
8 people
It's
right
right there.
now. You obviously
8 people.
there were more before.
No, but I'm saying that's
No,
a lot.
This is what I'm going to say.
for a live stream.
Okay, just
People
went
who are
down to
here-
7.
Oh, I said it. I
You ruined it. You broke it.
All right, before we go down to
That's it.
so the 7 of you watching in the chat, who amongst you, like obviously they like the Bladtcast enough that they're watching live right now on something that had very little notice. Sorry about that. The technology definitely got in the way.
Yeah, it wasn't that if you had promoted it more, it wouldn't have helped the people in the live chat right now at all.
Fact, by the way. Absolutely, 100% true. No, 100% true. I'm just trying to make excuses, and you're absolutely right. And Uvula Scrimshaw says, I give you money every episode, plus money for the ones I've already heard.
Oh, my
so
God.
that is someone who
Wow.
should sign up.
So if that person is willing to give at least $1 an episode, that's $350.
But
This
what
is
I'm
a gem of a human.
wondering
Yeah.
is who likes it enough that they would want to spend money. And maybe that's a self-confidence
You
thing.
are.
That I just
This
can't
is
imagine.
why you aren't getting paid what you're worth, Christian.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But no, just because no one's
You
paying
gotta
me.
look at yourself in the mirror
so
and you gotta
valuable.
say, "I love you, Christian."
No, I
Yes,
don't.
I'm
I
worth
really
it.
don't.
deserve
Have,
it.
have any of you
Christian
have any of
bot.
you seen the Netflix show Living with Yourself with Paul
Yes.
Rudd?
Not
Oh my
yet.
god, it's so
So
good.
I'm the
So
original
good.
Paul Rudd. I'm not the clone one.
Is he shitty?
I will.
or something?
No, I'm not the better one.
are you
is
saying
basically
about yourself?
like
But if you watch the show,
I've seen the whole
male
thing.
one is the better
Stop!
one.
Don't. I told. Oh, you did get scared. This is day after Halloween scares.
I thought that was going to be fun because he was talking about a very serious
there are two
moment.
beautiful
I'm
children.
sorry, Amy.
Oh my god, that was really scary.
Sorry.
I'm so confused.
Amy is so pure.
Zia-
The burps scare her.
See,
burp.
Lindsay doesn't even hear Zia burp.
I love that. Lindsay was like, I don't know what you're talking
natural
about.
to
Yeah, like,
That'll tell you all you need to know about Lindsay. She's like, oh, what happened?
Yeah, I was
Some-
I'm trash
What
sister,
happened
can I say?
was-
Something going on in here? So, anyway, so
So someone's willing to give us some money.
And,
Even if it's just some ones to take
but
to
see-
Dames and Games, Christian.
But
Oh
here's
my
the
gosh,
problem.
Dames and Games?
Oh,
You know of
you
Dames
don't.
and Games.
Do you know of Dames and
I
Games?
don't, but I love it already.
That's
So,
very catchy.
Will,
Yeah.
Yes.
for
I
the
feel like when you guys find out what it is.
you'll be disappointed, Amy,
bet.
for
It's
sure.
not very
Oh,
special.
man.
Yeah.
It's a topless sports bar and grill.
Yeah. By the way, and grill.
And grill. Grill's
Wow.
important.
Food.
Grill is very important.
Oh,
A little
yeah.
dangerous.
Remember that a waitress who spilled someone's order and as consolation said, I'll let you spank my ass if that makes you feel better. I was like, that's okay.
Yeah. That's
Are
in the
they
handbook.
hiring?
Sure. That's what we've gone there.
They probably, yeah.
We've
And-
gone there
I have
twice.
a lot in the boob department. Don't do it.
We've been twice.
yeah, we did go twice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway, that's Dames and Games. We've taken a couple Blatt trips to Dames and Games.
And
Wow.
Jeff got to know someone who worked there really well.
Yes.
And I
he
believe
did.
that is
Gonzo.
Bladtcast 255. Jeff tells the story
Nice
about
callback.
Miriam. I think that's Miriam.
Gonzo was the other one.
Gonzo was his old roommate.
Yep.
Jeff used to tell us a lot of stories.
Miriam.
You'd like old Jeff stories.
I
In
would.
fact, that all about EO, the Jeff one, I think you'd enjoy that. That-
Really?
yeah.
I think maybe I'll listen to that
I think
one.
just that one.
Yeah,
You don't
he
hear
listened
it.
to mine, so.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I feel bad that Jeff DeRay is not here, except for the fact that he's with like Hollywood superstars, but because he doesn't not only just listen to episodes because he's like wants to hear how he sounds and how he listens to ones that he's not in.
I saw him this morning.
Oh,
He
you
said
did?
he was going to try to come if they get out early enough, but I don't think that's.
I don't think it's
He
gonna
actually
happen.
said
I mean,
he hates
we're
that guy Christian.
Yeah, he was like, I'm
by the
so
way,
fucking
don't
glad
blame
I'm
him.
not there.
Don't blame him. Don't blame him at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, and what a great guy. I mean, my wife doesn't even listen anymore.
Neither
You know,
do I don't know.
Can't blame
well, you
her.
never did though.
No, I never done.
Yeah, you never really did.
I'd listened to Finally All About EO.
Well,
and listened-
I cornered you and like I was just like you'll know Jeff better if you listen to it. And do you
Yes.
feel like you knew him better afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I also listened to a couple ones because a Star Wars one, I think.
Oh, when we
Clearly,
If I'm
you
on the
retained a lot of
episode,
it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't need to. I think it was the Last Jedi conversation. But
Yeah.
if I'm on the episode, I'm like, I don't need to hear it back.
no, well, yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
What did you plan to talk about today? I
catch
feel
up,
like
catch up.
for a live stream.
I know, I did remember that.
Oh, the joke.
Yeah. So,
Sorry.
but Uvula Scrimshaw has explained that he or she has a budget of $350 for the next few years to give to the Bladtcast. So,
Wow.
however
That's
you
generous.
choose to dole that out, that's
it
fine.
Could be 1 year, could be 2 years. If you make 50
How about
cents.
just
4 years.
How about just $350 right now?
Right now.
Just give it, just all up
Sure,
front.
Just send
sure,
it.
sure.
I'm just going to use that
I will
to
give
pay
you
us all.
this
Yeah,
mug.
split amongst-
No,
yeah.
I will give you this
Same.
mug.
With my
No,
lipstick
no,
on it?
wait.
I'll give you the mug that has Lindsay's lipstick on it.
You can't wash it.
Yeah.
You have to keep it like that.
Oh,
Question.
okay.
Yeah.
It'll be like
In case for some reason,
Day.
in case for some reason you want the one that I drank out of.
Christian,
Yeah,
this is a mug with a kiss on it too. So
I love that so much. That's my favorite thing. I love that so much. And Jason Blair points out between Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Apple Plus, Disney Plus, CBS All Access, Peacock, HBO Max, etc., paying for the Bladtcast is my top priority. And he suggests
Wow.
he suggests Bladtcast Plus All Access.
Yes!
Now see
that's when you
that'll
get the
give
full
you the
nude
Do it.
photos
that'll
of
give
me,
you
Jason.
that'll give you the private
Yeah.
episodes.
All right, I might
That
subscribe.
for the subscribers only, and we have talked about because Matt and KC is essentially. He is basically our Patreon. He's our
He
one
is.
Patreon because
Yeah.
he's so
He's our
we
patron.
still feel like we should do
The patron saint of
Patreon.
Bladtcast.
Yeah, he's a patron saint, but we should do one episode that's just for him and no one ever hears it.
Talked
It's
about
like
that for years.
it's like that-
Why have you not done it?
it's like that Wu-Tang album that Martin Shkreli, that guy bought. He
yeah.
bought it for like I don't even know what he spent it, but it's like he's the only one who has that Wu-Tang album, and
Fucking
yeah.
asshole.
So
We should
Fuck
beat him
that
up and
guy.
take it.
Yeah.
Just take his fucking
I don't know
return.
who he is.
Jeff
Is he
would
in
Jeff would
jail?
definitely do that. Yeah, he's in
He's
jail.
that guy that hiked up the cost of what was the med? It was like a
It's like
It's like some important life-saving drug.
like you need, and he hiked
It's
it up
like
like
a-
300%
Yeah.
to like 500.
yeah, it was like a
something
cancer drug that was like
stupid.
$20, and then it was like
Let's get him.
500.
Recently.
Yeah, no, this is in the last
This
of
was a
5
few
years.
years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's in jail now, isn't
Yeah,
he?
good piece of shit.
Get him.
Anyway,
I
before
hope he gets worse.
before we run out of time and things go astray and we don't talk about what we plan to talk about, Amy, we told you to save something for the air.
Yeah, we did.
And you started to tell us this story, and we're like, no, don't do this at the restaurant. Let's do this on the show.
Can we not do this at the restaurant, please? Can we not do this
We're
here?
making
how
a
it
scene.
was.
Not in front of my pancakes, okay?
Ooh, I kind of wanted some pancakes. this
Yeah,
morning, but I
those sound good, don't they?
Yeah.
You can't put sauce on pancakes. You can't put sauce
Well,
on
Oh,
I had
ew.
a
Man,
man.
you could, but
What?
You had
No,
a
I'm
man?
sorry. I had
No,
a man.
you mean I had a
man.
lot of men.
I had
many dozens,
I-
hundreds of men.
Yeah, I can't
Hundreds.
count. I tried once.
hundreds.
No, I had a
I
man
have
at the
binders full of women.
restaurant.
It's okay.
You keep them pieces? What?
Just names.
That's a Mitt Romney insider.
That's
yeah.
a little old school.
I had a man order French toast where I work. He ordered French toast and he asked for a side of ketchup, and he
Oh,
ate his
no.
French toast with the ketchup, and he used all the ketchup.
So
All
you
of
were
it.
immediately in
That's
love with that
nasty.
man.
Amy?
Yeah,
ketchup
because
on
he
his
put
breakfast.
ketchup on his
Oh,
breakfast.
Amy,
that's
do
your
you-
husband.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
exactly. We got
right.
married. It was
Oh,
that, and I
I
was
knew
like,
it.
Story, yeah.
Amy,
Wow.
do you love my adorable daughter Lucy?
I do.
So Lucy, when you give her those little
No,
ketchup
help
packets,
her out now. It's not too late.
give her those ketchup packets from Chick-fil-A that you dip into. She'll pick up a spoon
Oh my gosh.
and just
Drink
shovel it into her
it.
mouth.
For her.
No matter what time of day.
know
We
what?
can't give her those anymore. We've just put like a little dollop of
It's
ketchup
'cause
on her
you need to
plate.
give her salsa instead.
My wife has tried to give her
Like,
Cholula.
That's spicy. Why would you do
No!
that to her?
It's not
That's
that
child
spicy.
abuse.
It's
I
not
mean,
that
she's
spicy.
That's hot sauce.
You gotta start them young
Yes,
to build
those-
the
yeah.
to
What's wrong
build the
with you?
It's
tolerance.
like a simple little, like, even milder than mild salsa. Just start it there. Little pico.
Little pico.
That's like when
Pico
someone-
pico?
Little pico.
Right? Come on.
you know, in Hawaii, pico is belly button. So every time you guys say that, I just hear belly button, and it really
That's
weirds me out.
weird.
I'm like, what?
I forget that there's like another language over there, and it's not like
There's two other languages.
it's not like
Hawaiian,
it's
they
been a
don't-
state forever.
Well,
It's like
wait,
pretty
wait.
new,
English
actually.
There's
everywhere.
there's three. There's trash language that you grew up speaking, and what are the other two?
Pidgin, which is also kind of a trash language, but it is a recognized language, and Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Amy,
Oh, yeah.
The joke.
I, like, hyped it up so much.
No,
and
it's
I
fine.
just feel so bad for you.
so look,
guys.
we made a big deal about this being Bladtcast
excited.
350, but is this really? I mean, it's great that we have these wonderful, talented women here who usually aren't here, and Zia. But
Wait, am I one of the wonderfully talented
Yes, of
women?
course.
It's not- but you said I'm not usually here. I'm here.
Are you
most of the
usually
time.
here?
Yes.
Jeff's almost always here.
Out of
That's
350
the
episodes, I'm in at least 325.
Oh.
That might not be true, but I would say
Really?
at least 300 for sure.
That's pretty good.
There are probably
50
there might
episodes?
be 50. Yeah, because they're like I'll
I
do
keep
interview
forgetting
ones
you
and
do
stuff.
ones
Yeah.
with other people, but
Yeah.
you don't even. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
whatever.
did he even ask you to be on the one that I was on?
No.
No.
He didn't even mention you when we
No.
we did our two.
See?
recordings.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like
I
he
think I
just
must have mentioned him.
forgot you.
See, brought to you by a little something.
Little
Yeah.
something.
Christian
We got
Zephyr.
Which,
a
by the
little
way,
something for you,
thanks for
Christian.
bringing beers and drinking them all yourself.
I offered them to people, and everyone said no.
I never got offered one.
Yeah,
I
I
said,
said
"Do you want one?"
She
And you
definitely
said-
would have had
No,
one.
no. She said, "Are they all that beer?" And I said, "Yes," and you said no.
I don't like beer. I just like whiskey and cider and wine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Zia's not drinking. Would you
I
like
don't
one?
like
Amy?
beer.
See, you said no.
I don't remember.
He likes to be.
Do you want one?
He wanted
It's too
you to
late now.
warm him
It's
up a
not too
little.
late. It's
Like,
too late now.
please, Christian, have one of my beers.
Yeah, that's what I wanted you to
That's what
beg
he
me to
wanted.
have one of your beers. But Amy has a
People
joke.
to share, and everybody said no.
Amy has a joke to
Hear
share.
Amy's joke.
I'm
All right.
ready.
So, last week I had a friend staying over. I'm gonna say the same thing before, so you guys
That's
are in the
okay.
same
We're
mindset.
ready.
So I had a friend staying over, and I think my husband found this joke online, and he said it. And you know how, like, when people are laughing and you're like, huh? And then it's like, okay, cool, like, we're all done laughing. Well, I was that person that just kept laughing. I was like, oh, no. And it was really late, so my friend, like, fell asleep. And the next morning, she was like, yeah, I fell asleep and you were still laughing. I was like, oh, my God, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
So, I don't know if you guys, like, get this kind of, like, anxiety sometimes when you're checking out. Or, you know, like, going inside a movie theater, it's like, oh, like, have a great time. Oh, you too. It's like, okay. So this
Yeah,
joke,
yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a joke. It's
You get
funny.
anxiety when you say that?
like sometimes because I'm like, what if? Okay, you'll hear.
Okay.
Okay, so like the joke is basically someone saying something that happened to them. So I was no, this happened before. I was like, I need to get it out. Okay, so this person was checking out. I guess they had bought something right at like some store, and so the person was like, "Oh, thank you so much."
Oh my god.
Your receipt is in the bag, and the person was like, "You too." I could not stop laughing. So I was like, that would happen to me. And I just felt so bad for this person. I have since seen this joke like posted elsewhere. I'm like,
Your receipt is in the bag.
it
You
still
too.
gets me.
Your
So
receipt is in
the
bag.
other day, someone.
How much Amy's laughing.
It's
That's what
exactly
makes
what she wanted.
This is what makes this special. Is how much you love this.
It's
Yes.
just like
This is why I wanted her to tell it. Yeah, because we all have those things. I mean, look, I would say that it's a decent chunk of this podcast, the Bladtcast, the Dennis Miller option. If I start laughing,
Whacking my mic.
it doesn't matter if it's funny or not. Like,
know.
and then just
I've
hearing
been
somebody.
there with you so many times.
It's just we're laughing so hard, and you just can't stop.
She's the new me.
I'm the new
You,
you.
yeah, but I mean,
Slowly replacing me. It's fine.
Yeah, there are people. By the way, people on Twitter.
Let's push him off the
There's a
stage.
lot of people who love Lindsay on the podcast, and then
There's
you
a
have,
lot of people who hate
and then you have the
me.
jerks who are like,
Yes.
can you
And
turn
they hate you?
can you
Want
turn
me
down her
fired?
laugh?
Yeah, they said my laugh is annoying.
And there's this one guy who goes out of his way and is like, oh, it was so nice for Lindsey Floyd to let Dennis interview Gene Simmons on the Lindsey Floyd option.
Yeah.
As
You talk on the show?
yeah,
I just
a
like
little bit.
giggle.
She
and
laughs and
make a
occasionally has a
comment.
good joke.
People used to say that
Your
about
laugh.
you, though.
I've heard you
That's
laugh.
true.
It's not annoying.
I don't know.
People
They
are always
do it
like, on
camera.
Dennis Miller when it was a radio show, people were like, Christian laughs too much.
Mm-hmm.
Can we turn him down? He's always laughing. And I'm like,
Well,
because
they did ask that about Salmon. We had somebody from a station who was just like, how about a salmon-free day?
Oh,
So, you get that kind of feedback. And there was a
you're the new
there was
Christian.
there was a program director who like hated me and like when I would guest host the radio show, he wouldn't air the shows that day.
What?
He like I used to have on my Twitter description
That's
what this
rough.
guy said.
Yeah.
And something about it was just like it was the word vanilla, and I'm like, all right, I'll take that. I mean, it's not anybody's favorite flavor of ice cream, but
Listen,
nobody hates
still
vanilla.
this
ice
is my
cream.
theory about
I'm still
vanilla.
ice cream.
I
Here's
like
the
ice
thing
cream.
about
Vanilla's
vanilla.
great.
Vanilla is the building block of all other flavors.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So am I.
You
When
can't
you
have
make
kinky
chocolate chip
sex without
cookies, when you make chocolate
All
ice
right,
cream,
that's good.
when you make other things, when you don't have chocolate ice cream at home, but you have vanilla and you have chocolate syrup, you need the vanilla ice cream to make the chocolate ice cream.
Well, I've heard you go on this rant before.
About vanilla?
vanilla.
I say
I
the same
have.
5 things over and over again. So Christian, you are the building block of all these things.
I'm the vanilla here of the show. By the way,
means you're the most important.
Our friend Coltrane jumped into the chat to say hello, and Jason Blair asked him, are you a bit upset that when you did the Bladtcast, it was a sausage fest, and now that you're gone, look at it now, how the times have changed. So, and
Sausage
say?
making
Coltrane
fest.
has the answer. We made up for it with field trips, which goes back to Dames and Games.
Sure.
Oh, that's
Which,
not bad.
yeah,
That's pretty
so-
good. That's actually better because you're not seeing any boobs
Didn't
here.
we also go
Yeah,
to
no
Crazy
kidding.
Girls? Didn't we go to Crazy Girls?
We did go to Crazy Girls.
That's the not
Crazy
naked one, right?
That
That's the one on La
yeah,
Brea.
that was the one in Hollywood by where Liev
great
used to
name.
live. Yeah. The girls were not crazy.
I was gonna
They
say
were not
what?
crazy.
Also, a couple of them weren't girls.
I'm also very uncomfortable in strip clubs. It's funny to watch.
Are you more
Ooh,
comfortable
really?
now, though?
sounds
Yeah,
fun.
No.
married Will was incredibly uncomfortable in strip
Actually,
clubs.
no, because I see it as a tremendous waste of money. So I'm just like, hi, you're so nice. Oh my gosh, this is really great.
Yeah.
Hi, I just have my
So-
drink. It's fine. I'm like, don't talk to me because I feel bad saying no.
Like you feel
But-
like you need to tip them because
Well,
they're working,
I
but you
sit
also
at the
want
thing
to
and I have a couple ones and I look what other people are doing and I'm like, they're folding the bill.
And-
so I should fold the bill. I'm like a person who got out of like a
serial
tank, like an
killer.
experiment, and I'm just mimicking like, oh, so this is how people interact.
But then will actually have the conversation with them of like, well, why don't you go back to school?
Oh my god.
That
Where's your
was
dad?
on my bachelor party many years ago.
know.
Oh my
But it's
god,
still a
Will,
fact.
You're so cute.
Right? Isn't he?
This is adorable.
That was on my bachelor many years ago. I'm much more of a piece of shit now, Christian.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm drinking all the beers
He's
by myself.
evolved.
Yes, well, that part's true. So, I don't know. We had fun there. And by the way, there is some breaking news from the nerd world.
Oh,
Ooh. Our
Peyton
favorite.
Reed will return to direct Ant-Man 3.
Oh my gosh.
Officially.
Oh, snap!
That's what it's
Ant-Man
called?
3, we're getting it?
Yeah,
Ant-Man
it's
3.
from the Hollywood Reporter, and no, it's we don't have a title. That's the working
but
title.
it's just
And
the
Will's not
third
going to see any more
Ant-Man.
Marvel movies.
I hope it's way better than the piece of shit that the second one was.
Did you like the first one?
I love the first
What if it's
one.
more like the first one?
Then that's great.
But I'll have to tell you,
have
it's
to
like
let
because
me
you're not
know.
going to go see it.
Yeah, second
but if
one
I
is
tell you, it's really,
so
really good.
supremely
See, I
average.
like the second one though,
I
but
like the second one, too.
No.
Yeah.
I liked that the Wasp was in it, but I thought that it was like not a good movie.
it didn't have a good villain. I will,
It was so average. I was like, we just have it was like a Thor movie. It's like Thor 2. Where you're like,
yeah.
cool.
And
this
by the
is
way,
just getting
the
us to Avengers.
Ant-Man and the Wasp grossed more than Ant-Man. Ant-Man and the Wasp grossed $622.6 million, and that's the funny thing is
This is
that's
worldwide.
not a huge success.
No.
Like they stopped making Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies because that one grossed $500 million, and they're like, nope.
Worldwide.
I think that was worldwide.
Superman Returns was the same way.
500 worldwide.
No, it made like $600-something million. And they were like, it's a bomb.
Well, it's like we got to put
Well
Batman in
here.
it. They had to
There
put Batman
wasn't
in
enough
it.
fighting.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know.
So much money.
What are we going to do with that piece of information? Are you excited, Amy? Do you like Ant-Man?
I'm gonna, you know what? Oh, sorry.
I know. We
Go
should
ahead.
probably.
I'm so sorry.
We should probably film another.
Well, no, I was just gonna say I looked at my phone and there's a text in our group chat from Zach, and I bet you any much it's that.
Any much.
any much.
Any-
Oh, I'm in airplane mode, so I
Any
wouldn't know.
amount.
I bet
Amy, do you
I
like-
bet you any much? It's that, Christian.
Any
Is it-
much.
we
I don't know,
we always
street's
said that
good,
growing
but-
up in Hawaii. Is that not a thing? Does
Wait.
nobody ever say any
It's
much?
Are you just
Okay.
pretending?
We accept you as you
Yeah.
are.
I don't.
Anytime
I don't.
Zia fucks
No,
up
he
or says something weird, she goes, "Oh, well, that's just what we do in Hawaii."
That's what we do in Hawaii. Yeah, we.
I'm gonna use that
not an
forever. By the
excuse.
way,
Wait, you guys don't murder people?
You guys, wait. You guys don't eat your own shit?
Yeah,
we
yeah.
do that in Hawaii. It's fine.
Okay, I said murder, but somehow that seems worse.
How is that
I
worse?
don't know.
It
That's
is.
the problem.
You're
Yeah,
ending
look,
the
you
life
got
of a
one cup.
Because
person.
mine is so extreme that it's impossible. Yours is within the realm of possibility.
By the way, let's
there is
stop
scat
down.
play where people eat shit coming out of other people.
Yes, I
As
know.
I
And we
needed
all saw
that
Two
visual.
Girls,
Oh
One
yeah,
Cup.
so
That's
don't
all
yeah
it
don't
is.
don't Google 2 girls 1 cup,
Yes,
which
Google
is
it,
fake. No, it's
absolutely.
fake. There's
What
no way
about-
that's real.
what about One
but
Guy,
still
One
disgusting.
Jar?
What do you mean it's fake?
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
I don't want to see that
That
because
sounds
it's
messy.
guys.
How is
Yeah.
it fake? It's definitely real.
No.
It's definitely real.
They're eating.
So
CGI.
the poop
It's
comes out of the
CGI.
dog's butt. They're eating ice cream. You
No.
don't see it actually go. They're not eating poop on the ice cream cone. It just looks like
What
it.
about when they're making each other throw up on each other?
Ew.
Well, I mean that's because
That's real.
It's because I was Patreons for those
That comes
girls.
from
On the list of
Bulimia
topics,
days.
yeah.
By the way,
Natural.
I'm sure she'll be disappointed when she catches up in the stream, but Lisa Kaplan says she's behind in the stream, but she would also donate. And speaking of streams, she said, this is from the first comment in the chat before we started. Lisa Kaplan said, "You have a live stream, not a golden one, please."
Hey.
So I like when they bring the funny into the
I
chat
like
themselves.
That. I like that. I also wonder what she's doing at home.
What have we learned from 350 Bladtcasts?
What are
I have to
you
ask
learning,
Will
Lisa?
first for
What have we learned?
being on about 300 to 325 of them. What have we learned?
I'm very dismayed that I'm on maybe less than 325.
You're on less than me
I'm definitely. What?
because there's only one without me.
I mean, no one's gonna be. I mean, of course, it's your fucking.
Well, you're on
podcast.
one that I'm not.
It's called Bladtcast.
Which one was that?
Remember when I took my paternity leave? You and Jeff did one without me.
We talked about doing drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys talk about going to Joshua Tree? Or that was a different
gonna
plan?
be a plan.
Yeah, but
I
then
have some mushrooms now. I'm gonna make a tea.
you're gonna make mushroom tea? Are you gonna go to do it in Joshua Tree?
No, I'll probably just do it around.
I would see now I'm starting to think like, well, even though I'm like too old for mushrooms, I would still do them
You're
with
not too
Jeff.
old for
No,
them.
we
I would
should
definitely
do a
do-
I don't think
Bladtcast
anyone's
on
too old for
mushrooms.
mushrooms.
I have an acid
Yeah.
plan.
Wait, even Amy
also.
says that?
I don't think anyone's too old.
You
for
know we're
mushrooms.
talking about like drug mushrooms, right? Okay, I thought you might have thought we were talking about portobello because you're
You
so
don't
sweet.
Oh,
curse.
but oh my
Yeah.
gosh, portobello
Yeah.
mushrooms, yeah.
It's like Christian. Let me
No.
tell you, don't make a tea. Put it in with a bolognese sauce.
Yeah, there
Oh
you
my
go.
god, out of this world.
That just sounds weird. Why would you put? No, I
drink
feel like
mushrooms?
anyone can.
Yeah.
Everybody should experiment.
Wait,
with
have you
that.
never done that?
No, I've never done
You've never done
mushrooms.
mushrooms?
Oh, wow.
No,
I mean,
I've
I've
had-
done mushrooms.
I've had
Oh, you
some.
haven't
No,
either.
this will be the
but-
first time.
Oh, I've done them a
No,
couple
but I
I've
feel
had
like
some,
you can if
see?
you want
I've
to.
done
I've had some bad
Yeah.
edible experience that I've sworn off that
Well, the thing
forever
with
for my
shrooms,
rest of
you
my
have
life.
to
I will
be-
never do an edible again.
I had a bad
Yeah.
edible experience recently. We talked on the
Oh,
podcast.
really?
Oh, we did,
And I got
yeah.
accidentally high at Jeff's house.
You got
How do you get
accidentally
accident-
high?
Yes,
Well-
because
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
eat
know that the
something-
brownies were weed brownies.
That's
Usually-
one of my worst fear.
I
But
ate
it's
three
Jeff's.
of them.
It's Jeff's house, so you should
should've known.
assume
Yeah.
everything has weed in it. So,
How
what were
fucked-
you gonna say, Lindsay?
With shrooms, you just have to make sure you're like having a good day and in a good mood first.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Don't take them on a bad
I haven't
day.
had I haven't had a good day since the
Since
90s.
you started working with me in January.
Also true, but
Yeah.
no, I haven't had a good day since probably the 90s, and I'm never in a good mood, so I'm probably out on that.
Yeah, right.
He's like
You
Garfield. Every day's a
sound-
Monday.
Yeah, terrible.
I do love lasagna.
Just give him a little lasagna. Then
Oh,
bed
I
him
just
up
see
for
you
meals.
laying in a little box.
Oh my god, I would love to.
Garfield?
He's
Yeah,
Garfield.
I would love to just lay in there and with
a
my
box?
teddy bear and watching TV.
Wow.
I watched Garfield Halloween
And
with
you could say-
Felix. He loves it. He remembers from year to year what his favorite. He's like, "Daddy, when's the part when Garfield and Odie are going to be in the cabinet?" Because he just remembers, even though he hadn't seen it in a year.
Yeah.
Cute. Glad he is your son. Because you just like do callbacks so easily.
To my kid.
No,
She
no,
said
not
he
to your
is
kid.
your
Yeah.
son.
But just like in general.
Yeah.
Like, oh
They have
yeah,
the
that was
same
episode
mind.
255.
Yeah,
that's
it's
Because he's a comic book nerd. We
that's
remember
it. It's
always-
unnecessary bullshit details with
but
when they came out and when
as
they
I
happened.
found out, only for like Amazing Spider-Man and Uncanny X-Men. If you're asking about like spectacular Spider-Man, I got no idea. Just the regular like Wolverine solo book, I probably don't know. It's only like my
Could you do that
favorite
with Star Trek?
Star Trek episodes. I can't do like numbers. No.
Doctor Who.
The title
no.
of episodes. I could
Oh, what
do
was
it
that
with
Doctor Who story you sent? I didn't even click on it. Didn't you text me a Doctor Who story?
Oh,
Is that like news or is it a
all I
rumor?
read was the headline, so I can't get into it because then I hate those people that read a headline and are like, ugh.
Okay, well, what did the headline say,
The
stupid?
headline. God damn it, Christian. The headline said that there's supposedly the New Year's special that they're doing with Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor
Yeah.
is going to go back to David Tennant's Doctor and lecture him on toxicity.
Why?
Wow.
But doesn't that sound like a joke?
That
I
does
fucking
sound like a
hope
joke.
so.
That
is
sounds like a
It
joke,
could be a
right?
joke. It
I
could
feel
be.
like
That's
that's
why I
absolutely a
just-
joke.
because
Yeah.
they're friends. Like she did his podcast.
No, that's not gonna.
You know, they
happen.
were on Broadchurch together. I
At
don't
all.
see why she would
I
do
hope
that.
not.
That's not.
Well, not her, but like if the writers told her.
Where was
do
this?
that.
No,
where-
but why?
where
But
did
the
you find
writers.
This article.
Here's the thing: the writers.
I just saw it in my
the,
newsfeed.
the writers don't get to tell David Tennant like, oh, do you want to get lectured
Lectured?
by Dr. 13?
I mean-
and he'd be like, no, actually, I'm good. I don't think I need
I
that.
will not appear.
Yeah, I
that's
don't-
what Stephen Moffat said. Christopher Eccleston, we're actually going to have Matt Smith and David Tennant come back lecture you
Yeah.
on why you don't like Doctor Who anymore. And he's like, no, I won't do it. I won't appear. And
Yeah,
they
I
cast
don't know.
John Hurt
I
instead.
hope it's a joke, but I just saw it and sent it to
It's
Christian.
definitely
Interesting
a
thing
joke.
about
It's
Lindsay,
definitely
she
a joke.
doesn't really like nerd stuff, except what did you like on
Wait.
Netflix?
I like Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
I was actually saying one of my friends was replaying an episode of Breaking Bad last night, and I was like, "What the
Yes.
fuck? What the fuck is Jessica Jones doing on Breaking Bad?" And then I'm like,
Oh,
"Whoa,
it's-
whoa, whoa!
It doesn't go well for
Slow
her.
down.
It
No,
does not go
remember
well
she
for her,
overdoses,
yeah.
and Walter White watches.
Yep.
No.
That was.
We all like to
really
watch.
bad.
I
Yeah.
also liked Luke Cage.
I liked him too.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Did you see that Daredevil will most likely be getting a season 4 in some form at some point?
More likely he's getting a movie.
Yeah, we think
Charlie
he's getting
Cox
a
in Charlie
movie.
Cox in a movie for Daredevil.
Right, Amy, though? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow.
Did you not know that? Oh, you don't have to follow
I
Marvel
just read this
news
morning
anymore.
that they were like they'll probably do a season
No,
4.
but like it, gets sent to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Through
like,
osmosis.
To the ether.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that didn't make its way to me.
That didn't make. Yeah. So
Until
I think we
now.
should see him again.
To answer your question from moments ago,
Yeah.
a long time ago, I've learned. I don't know what I've learned. I've learned that anybody can be canceled for anything.
That's true, but that's what President Obama was trying to say.
It's
Is
why
like
I'm prepared to continue doing the Bladtcast, because I hope if I go down with people I care about.
Oh.
I'm trying to make Christian cry.
what are we all going down on at the same time?
Oh.
You, Jeff, and I.
Wow, it must be real big.
Damn it! I tried to make something sweet.
know.
And you made it sexual.
That's what.
what we
See,
do.
what else? You know, if something's trying to be like a real moment, I
has
can't.
to
I
be
can't let it happen.
sexual,
I
yeah.
can't
That's
let it happen.
not true.
We don't have real feelings. Sorry, what are you looking at?
Myself.
Whoa!
okay.
What are you?
What's
What are you
happening?
He's
doing?
looking at
Something.
his veins.
I thought I saw something.
So jacked.
Okay.
He is. To be fair, you are pretty jacked.
Great. I thought I felt something crawling on me, and there wasn't anything, so I'm going crazy.
Okay, so
Okay.
you're thinking that like Lindsay like can't keep her hands to herself?
Stop
Is that
it.
what you're saying? See,
You
Yeah, I
started
know she's
doing
right.
the seats, the jacked, and you started doing the Gene Simmons voice.
Apparently, the Gene Simmons voice is like, listen, this is like, I'm very attracted to Gene Simmons.
I know.
I mean,
all of a sudden, okay.
He's pretty great. Amy,
What have I learned?
Smart.
This is a great time, and nobody needs any money except if you.
no, if we start making money, that's a different story.
Okay.
And I want to get drunk with everybody. I want to spend that money.
That's what I've learned. Spend
I-
the $100.
I want to.
Fucked up and
Life's
live
too
tweet
short.
the director's cut of the
Spend
Ben
the
Affleck
money.
Daredevil movie.
Oh, I do want to do that. Oh,
We
I
have
want
been
to do that
saying this
so
for many
badly.
years, for like 2 years.
We used to live tweet movies and
About
Christian had kids.
live stream like watch-alongs.
we could do that here now. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
do
better
that.
technology actually. Where it'd be like Mystery Science Theater 3000, where we'd be in
Oh.
like a little window, and we could actually like talk during the movie. But we used to just tweet jokes
See,
while we did it.
Another thing people don't appreciate: young people coming up with technology. You know
Yeah.
what? It must be free. It's easy.
It's all free. Yeah, everything's free.
That's what I've learned. I'm becoming curmudgeonly as I hit 32. It's fine.
Are you 32 now, or you'll be 32 at Thanksgiving?
Well, this is going live, so 24 days on the 25th.
And Lucy's birthday is the 29th.
That's right.
And Bujenski's birthday is like right after.
My birthday's right after.
Yeah,
Just wanna get in there.
December
Oh, hey,
5th.
that's
Yeah.
my stepmom's birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And Zia February 1st, me February 8th, and Amy I just don't
May
remember.
25th.
May 25th.
Star
all right.
Wars Day. That's
No,
the day.
that's May
No.
5th.
Star Wars
4th.
release
May the 4th be
May
with you.
25th, 1977.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the real Star
I
Wars
was
Day.
like, what?
Okay? That's the real Star
know.
Wars Day.
You're such a nerd.
I know. What the fuck am I
Why
doing
didn't
here?
we just say, like, I don't remember dates and information except for Spider-Man? I was like, well, what about this? And you're like, come out with this fucking
It's the
thing.
release day of Star Wars. It's very important.
I don't know it.
I don't know
It
it
wasn't
either
it-
because I wasn't alive.
Okay,
So
so I was
you were-
one, and I don't remember that day.
You remember going to the drive-in.
Oh, you remember my
And
stories.
your dad was angry that you had to pay.
I had to pee. Yeah, which you both can relate
See?
to, by the way.
I listen.
Yeah.
Like, you know, sometimes you gotta pee.
You always have
And
to
my dad
pee.
was so annoyed that I was like, but you saw this movie already. This is the re-release of Star Wars in 1979. We're at the drive-in. I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, but for your dad, it's like, I remember loving this so much. Maybe he had to pee at that exact moment. And then he had missed it twice. Did you ever ask your dad about that?
He wouldn't remember.
You might have
Is this
traumatized
still
In all
him.
honesty-
hanging over you and your father's
Yeah.
relationship? Christian, lay down.
probably why I don't
Lay
talk to
down.
Anyway, we, as they say, we've gone a little long,
We
but
overextended our welcome
we.
a little bit.
They're kicking us out.
Like,
No. Nobody is kicking us out yet. But I think after 5 more minutes, they'd be like, "You said you're gonna be done at 2:30."
They're just gonna turn the lights off.
And I'm just glad that people
yeah,
joined
it
us
was
in the
fun.
chat, and that was very sweet of Coltrane to join us there for
We
a
only
little
read
bit.
we didn't have that many comments. We only read a
We
couple.
did. I incorporated them throughout the flow of the
Oh,
conversation.
Just read the ones where people compliment me.
Gene in Philly
that's
wanted to
none of
know
them.
why the microphones are made out of bumblebee hides, and that is because this is Afterbuzz TV, and that is why the
Buzz.
color scheme.
Get it?
If you remember when we did the show with Liev here, he was talking for like an hour, and he looked at it and he's like, "Oh, I get it." This is in the middle of a sentence. Buzz, like bumblebee. What?
I'm about to be dumber than Liev.
You're only no.
I just understand that after
damn
Buzz, the Buzz makes it a
damn
B.
it.
And I was like, oh, that's just their color scheme. They picked a B color.
Wait, you really did just realize that?
Yes, never knew
Like
that.
just now?
That's correct.
It's all right.
Okay, so schools
We accept
in
you as you
Ramona
are.
not as good as schools in Hawaii.
But I can lift a lot of weights, Christian.
You sure can.
Yeah.
And you know
That's
what?
what I mean. Jacked.
I do run into Will at the gym.
That's why he's still working crazy ladies.
when I
That's why I
texted
still go to Dame
I
Brigade.
texted Zia once. I mentioned like I saw something at the gym, and I think you must have just started laughing. She's like, "Wait, you go to the gym?"
Yeah,
And I'm like, "Yeah, obviously, obviously, I fucking
like,
go to
"Wait,
the gym. I go to the same gym as Will.
That's like
so
you calling your
clearly,
hoary cunt
I'm
face.
getting jacked. Yeah, that's my
That's
my
your version of
Yes,
it. Wait,
that
you
is
go to
my
the
hoary
gym?
cunt face. I can't. I don't have clean audio of you saying hoary cunt face, which is
See?
too bad.
You
I know.
can't blackmail me later.
I'll figure it out.
Clean as a whistle. Except for all those stereotypes I did back in the day.
There was only one stereotype, and it was a character from the Phantom Menace.
I know. And
It's-
the Phantom Menace stereotyped him before I got to him.
We've never done the trade negotiators.
True.
Oh, the Sidious.
It's
We've never
true.
done any of that.
It's true.
You know?
George Lucas is not canceled, then we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did I lose you, Amy? You look like you're ready to go.
I'm just confused.
How do you have your legs covered with like a jacket when it's
'cause I'm wearing-
it's the hotter than the surface of the sun in
Yeah,
this room
no, I'm
right
wearing
now.
a skirt and I just can't sit like a lady.
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
That's why
Okay.
Zia wears pants.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And when I wear, never mind.
Oh no, you got to finish that thought now. Wait.
Wait.
What? I was gonna say when I wear skirts, you can see up them, so it's like
I feel like that's what
I just threw up in my mouth.
Oh my god, look at this fucking inside
That's a reference.
weird friendship.
Because
thing.
I know. I don't know what's wrong with us. We're just disgusting.
We've
humans.
actually said many
It's
times like if anyone were to read our
oh
text,
my god,
they would be
Sorry,
like,
Amy.
like I think you guys shouldn't talk to each
Yeah,
other.
like I don't know why you guys. I don't understand how you guys are friends. Like I don't get it.
Last week I texted you that I was going to come up behind you and choke the life out of you. Can't even remember why.
True.
It was just like
True,
it
he
was like
did.
the
He
most
said he was
terrible
gonna
thing I could have
strangle me.
said.
Like in a
And-
really bad way.
And I was just like,
And he was laughing so hard.
I thought about it
And
for like
he was
a
at
minute.
the gym, and I was like, "This fat ass is at the gym," and that's how that conversation went.
He has not laughed this hard. Clearly, Z is the favorite. We should all fuck off. And you guys should do.
Hey, Zia's had her own episode.
The Black
Oh,
Land.
sorry. Lindsay has had her own episode. Zia's had her own episode.
That's what we're gonna call
Will
it.
gets a lot of episodes. And Amy, you've been on a few times. You've been on a few times.
You need to have a.
Yeah, but you're not
Amy
around here
episode.
as much anymore, you know. But I believe that a certain classic rock band is going to be back in the area in March.
That's right, because they had to reschedule. They canceled due to unseen difficulties.
Do you know what those unseen difficulties were?
Not enough tickets.
They only sold 2,000 tickets.
You
What?
found the number out.
Wait, because you can go on
How big is the
Ticketmaster.
Staples Center?
20,000.
Oh my god.
Shit.
So I think
Who
they.
is
It was
this?
like we just saw you
What
like
band?
6 months
Like
ago.
that's-
But no, it was like.
Lindsay, it's a shame that you have to ask what band this is.
Really?
Could maybe not.
No way.
Maybe it's Ted Nugent.
Do people not know how
It could be.
amazing and hot it's
There's
gonna be?
there's an overpopulation of
Look,
beer.
what an amazing! How amazing was that
What you do.
concert? That's the first time you've seen
was
them. It's still the
great.
only time you've seen them, right?
Yeah, I almost started crying.
I will say, I don't go to a lot of concerts.
No, it's true, you
I've
don't.
seen, most of my concerts are Kiss concerts.
I brought you to
I've
2
been
or
to
3.
enough.
I brought you to 3.
In my life, I've probably been to like 25 concerts.
What are some
That
other
was my
ones?
favorite concert.
But that was such a great show.
It was a really
What
great
are some
show.
of your other concerts?
Yeah, other
Wells?
bands, not
Yeah.
other Kiss
Anne Berlin,
concerts.
which is like my favorite band.
Well, okay,
Okay,
I don't hate
Anne
Anne Berlin. They're fine.
Anne
Yeah, they got that
Berlin.
one
It's like
song.
an old
They
school
have like,
scene
one
band.
single, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. We have 7 fucking great albums, but it's whatever.
Yeah,
It's fine.
no one
Totally
knows
fine.
the names. What?
Betty Who. I went to see Betty Who and also met her, and she hugged me.
Okay, I don't know
Time
who
of my-
that
Do
is.
you mean Betty Lou Who
bad.
from The Grinch Who Stole
I
Christmas?
mean Betty Draper from.
Oh, from Mad Men?
Oh.
Oh,
January
she's a
Jones?
hottie.
I'm kidding.
You mean the perfect personification of Emma Frost
Even though
in
she's
X-Men
not a-
First Class?
Even though she's like not a good actor.
Oh, it's terrible.
Don't talk
really
about
We've
that.
never seen Emma Frost again because of that. What other concerts have you been to before we wrap up? That's me saying, answer the question.
I don't know. Well, okay, so we went to Def Leppard and Journey.
That was fun.
That was a lot
Drummer
of
from
fun.
Free-
Def Leppard's only got one arm.
He
The
does.
drummer.
That's
Remember,
true.
you know that
Wow,
song?
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
There's
Yeah.
a song where I can't even remember the song right now. I just remember the line. The drummer
Def-
from
Def
Def Leppard's
Leppard
only
has
got
one
one
arm. Yeah,
arm. And
and
they say it
he's-
like 3 times.
And by the way, with one arm, he's better than Peter Criss.
Oh, Amy took that very
Anyway,
personally.
it's all like random
She's like,
shitty.
no.
You know what I mean? Like it'd been like Jonathan Richman and the Punch Brothers and like.
But my favorite
A lot
time that
of
we saw
random
Kiss
shit.
was when we went to the show that was for LA Kiss, the arena football team season ticket holders,
Yes.
and I just got us on the list. And
It was
everyone
like half sold out, maybe.
well, that's why that's why that league isn't around anymore.
Right.
All right. I feel like we should do this again sometime with all these
so,
ladies,
too.
but I can't imagine any of them wanting to do it. Zia, you're going to be stuck being on very
Let me
soon.
see it because
And
I'm
then-
here.
Yeah,
Is
and
someone
then
making like enchiladas. Am I the only
I
person?
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
I think Bree's making
Bree's
enchiladas
cooking.
actually.
Bree
It's
makes
that time
all
for
the good
her.
stuff.
Yeah, it's because they're having their meeting right now. Oh yeah, we need to like sneak out.
Disperse.
Although I think we might need to film something. By the way,
What do we need to film?
Ant-Man 3,
Oh, fucking A, yeah.
the whole movie.
Yeah.
I've written a
Yeah.
script.
Wow.
And action.
Let's do it.
Coach, I want to be in.
You let's do it, Amy. You gotta come
do
with us.
Yeah.
Sweet. Only if you're willing to cuss.
Oh yeah.
I'll do it on
Yeah,
camera.
you're.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's for a
First,
part.
first.
See,
If it's
can't
in the
wait.
script,
you know
I'll
what?
say it.
Amy's a good egg.
like you, Amy.
She's a team
Wow.
player. So I hope we do this again soon, and I hope that no one had a terrible experience here in the studio. Again, Uvula Scrimshaw trying to get that $350.
Send it on over.
I have loved every microsecond of all the Bladtcasts. It moves right to the front of the listening queue. You guys are the best, and I mean guys in the non-gender specific definition. Now that's a Bladtcast fan who's put that
Nice.
parenthetical.
Nice.
The
human
uvula
being.
is the part of your throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the one
It's
in
in
like
the
that
back.
Monster House trailer.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yes.
oh, it has a uvula. I can see the uvula. Oh, so it's a girl house? No.
That's right. See.
Not you,
Oh,
vulva.
it's just vulva.
Vulva,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or uterus.
I don't know where to go from here.
Okay.
I
Only
feel like
up.
I feel like up the uvula.
Yeah.
That's the
an
that's the
entrance.
parenthetical title for this episode
Oh,
because this
yeah.
one's for the ladies. Parentheses up the uvula. But until next time, here's a fun little tidbit. This Bladtcast 349 has actually not been posted yet.
Oh my god.
So it exists,
What?
but this is technically Bladtcast 349, but it's really 350. It's just I only posted 348 at the beginning of this week.
So
So I came out here for $3 fucking 49.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, this is 350. This will be the
waited to
350th
tell
episode.
us.
Yeah, because I thought it was
That's
annoying.
false
No, this is
advertising.
350. It's just
Take it
people
off
haven't heard
camera.
So
350
this is
yet.
not even.
Take it down.
It's
This is
Delete
it.
it.
This is it.
That you lied to us.
No,
We will never
no.
trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
Well, I never did before. So
I'll come back for Zia though.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
see.
I mean, I think that's fair. Yeah.
I'll come back if Lindsay's
We have to.
no other time.
We have to continue
Oh,
our
Amy. Yeah.
Zia's hero's journey. We've only done the first part, so
Oh,
we have to go.
Jesus.
We have to do like 5 more.
Dude, I was gonna say, does anyone want to hear any more about my life after that
Oh
last
my
one?
god! I wish everybody would listen to it. Like
Oh.
your dad bringing you to bars and I don't know.
Oh, maybe I should
Yeah.
listen to
Oh,
this.
that sounds
You'll enjoy-
interesting.
you'll
Thanks
enjoy
a
that story.
lot.
It's
Well,
like from
yeah,
a movie.
it's not depressing at all. My grandma.
What does your grandma call you?
Junior slut. When I was a child.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had
Yeah.
a very weird life.
This is.
Interesting.
So
Do you have a therapist?
I have. I've
Okay.
had a few.
yeah.
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 You're not alone.
The first
You're not
3
alone.
killed themselves. They
I
were
don't
so
mean that in a
depressed
shitty
by her
way, like-
fucking
Yeah.
stories.
I have my own shitty weird things. I'm like, that's what saves
Oh yeah, you
my
have,
life.
you have a lot of therapists, don't you? Yeah.
There's one, but I found a good one.
Yeah. It took you a little while to find a good one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Because you used to
that's
do the
how it
phone
works.
thing, right?
I did the phone thing. I
Yeah.
did the fucking what's it called?
Better
Oh,
help.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the texting one.
I
other
did that.
one, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like it.
I hate
I
when
don't
you
like it
like
either.
text all your like. Oh,
Yeah.
I'd rather just talk about
Like,
it.
Yeah, I
Act
want to
this
talk.
out.
Yeah, I
Like
like
Yeah.
in
talking.
person.
Mhm.
Like you need to.
Talkspace. That's what it's called.
So
Ah,
There you
yes.
go. There you go.
we'll do this again, maybe for Bladtcast 399.
But it'll really be 89. But you know.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
fucked. It'll be.
Zia's
it's
life
fine.
reminds me of Once We Were Warriors, only not as violent. I actually don't know that reference.
Is that a movie?
I guess. Uvula Scrimshaw again. Gene Beretta wants us to know that he has no uvula, and then he follows up seriously. So,
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
because I thought he was trying to impress us.
But he really does have a uvula.
Yeah.
Like some people don't have their tonsils. Maybe.
Yeah.
Some people don't
Okay,
have- What
yeah.
is the point of
Sure.
a uvula anyway?
I don't
We'll
know.
find that
That's a
out.
good
Yeah.
question.
Maybe a
Let's
gag
look that up.
reflex?
Hey,
It's just God's way of like
Yeah.
playing a joke on people misgendering and misinterpreting parts of the body.
Yeah,
But we
yeah,
made
that
the
trickster god.
You know.
Trickster.
Junior slut.
like
Where do
having a
people
funny bone.
where
You
do
don't have a
people
funny
find you online if they want to follow you, Junior slut?
Follow me. Follow the junior slut here. Can I even call myself that anymore?
Not
I'm so
anymore.
old.
No.
Yeah, you're almost
At-
31.
You take the power away from it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
You still look young though.
Reframe
if that's any
it. Yes,
consolation.
yes.
Appreciate it.
That's nice.
Jeff,
I would
just
card
called
you
Jeff.
if I
Thanks,
worked
Will.
at a bar. Yep.
Oh, that's sweet.
So
I
sweet.
would card.
That's the
I would
nicest
card all
thing
4 of
anyone
you.
said to me.
I would card all 4 of you, and then if I walked in, I'm like, you leave your wallet in your pants, buddy. It's
Yeah,
fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. Nobody needs to see
Yeah.
your ID. We all know you're old as
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, at Zia_land. It's XIA_land. Go follow me on Instagram. Help me out.
Well, you have like
Yeah.
1,500 now,
And
or
continue to press Jeff to take
where are you?
photos.
1,200? I don't know. How many fucking Instagram followers do you have?
I just hit 2,000 not that long ago.
Yeah, so
Nice.
see, that's what I knew it was a lot, and you
great.
looked
I
at
don't know
me.
if that's a lot.
You went from
but
1,000 to 2,000 very quickly.
Yeah, so
Without-
I'm hoping now to get to 3,000 very quickly.
2038.
Thanks, Amy.
Yeah.
Without
you.
us posting even one picture of Jeff,
Without one picture.
Yeah.
Oh,
which we have
gotta do
to.
that.
We'll talk to Jeff next time he's here.
We really need to.
Amy, thank you for coming out to the Valley and hanging out for the afternoon. And where can people find you?
You guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra MTZ, and that includes Letterboxd.
Wait,
I
what's
don't know what that
Letterboxd?
is.
Letterboxd is a way for you to keep track of all the movies you're watching.
Oh my
okay.
So
god.
it's
Oh.
spelled like letter box, like BOXD, all together.
When you know, Letterboxd is the format where you used to watch, like, you'd watch it formatted for television,
Right.
but the bars at the top and the bottom.
Widescreen.
Yeah, before TVs were shaped
Yeah,
like
widescreen.
that. When TVs were just square, that was the
And everyone's like, I
Letterboxd.
don't understand. Why?
Yeah.
Why do we have
Yeah,
this?
it's like, wait, weren't TVs always? Lindsey Floyd, I'm going to see you on Monday.
I know.
But
it's been boring without
until
you guys.
then, yeah, it's not an exciting place to work without Dennis and I,
Right.
and all of our tales and making each other laugh. Where can people find you?
On all the social media.
Are you on Letterboxd?
No, except
Oh.
for Letterboxd, I'm not that cool.
Loser.
Are you on TikTok?
No.
See, I'm not on
I'm
TikTok.
old. Okay, fine. On
Anybody
the
on
Facebook,
TikTok?
Twitters,
My
and Instagrams.
9-year-old niece is on TikTok. She freaking loves it. They're adorable. 'cause
I
she's
don't-
Okay.
You know who was on TikTok for a minute there? They
You?
talked about this on Jim and Sam.
Dennis.
Nope.
Oh.
Matt Lauer.
Oh, that's right.
And then
oh my God.
later that day, yeah, he was just singing songs and being a happy dad, saying it all. And then there was some news, and he doesn't have time for TikTok anymore.
Nope.
So
wait, this is after all these allegations.
Oh yeah, but this is no.
allegations.
So this is like the latest round.
Yeah.
This is right before that, like that day. He was making TikToks in the morning, having
And
fun.
then-
He was getting ready for the comeback, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, and not so much now. But Lindsey K. Floyd.
Yes, Lindsey K. Floyd. Lindsey Kay. Floyd, like Pink Floyd.
Nice.
That's me.
And Will, we know where people find you, but tell them anyway.
I always knew Matt Lauer was creepy.
Oh.
That's where you can find me.
It's a good one.
Really?
I would watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade many years ago, and I was like, this fucking guy. I don't like this guy.
You know who I do like? I like Al Roker.
Fine.
Right? No.
Okay.
Oh, tomorrow.
Amy doesn't
Amy
like
got
him.
creep vibes
You don't like Al
coming from him?
Roker?
Really?
I don't feel like he's genuine.
Okay, here's what I don't
It's
like.
fine. I just don't think he's a rapist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, sure.
Al's like inoffensive. He's not special, but he's okay. He's vanilla, if you will. but
No.
Also, more breaking news: Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2, April 2022. Look at us. When we go live, we got actual news to break.
Yeah.
at Will Sterling _.
Yeah.
No.
See, now we have to go do a
So
video. Even though they're doing a meeting, we're going to have to talk to them. Like, shouldn't we go do a...
they'll-
Walk out.
I mean-
really like I didn't bring beers.
Yeah, that's fine. They're all gone now, right? You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChristianDMZ. And don't forget... The Dennis Miller Option, Tuesdays and Thursdays on Westwood One, the Westwood One podcast app, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Jason Blair, and wherever fine podcasts are found. And of course, at Bladtcast on Twitter, Bladtcast.com, Bladtcast.com, and like the Bladtcast on Facebook. And if you like the banter between Zia and I, you can find us Thursdays on the Popcorn Talk Network for Marvel movie news at 1 p.m. Pacific.
Can I say one more thing real quick?
Please.
Totally forgot we were live streaming video for a good 10 seconds. Like, who the fuck? Where are you looking? And then I was
Your
like,
fucking camera. You're being a goddamn professional.
so
Yeah.
listen,
I
I've
think
done
you've been here
just
before.
between 300 and 325
Just in-
episodes of this show.
in
So I
case-
forget that sometimes there's a camera
In case you didn't know, by the
involved.
way, the camera has been on all of us the whole time.
I know.
There have been a couple times
That's
where
why
I've
I
had to...
have this here.
All
Yeah,
the
that's
gang
very smart.
signs I
Smart,
flash,
Amy.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get killed.
You're gonna get killed.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyway,
You're hard.
I guess I have to text someone to tell them to turn off the stream.
I was gonna say though,
Go ahead.
since- while you're doing that, by the way, I love when Bladtcast listeners watch Marvel movie news because one time when I think I was leading it, and I dropped the F-bomb. I just said fuck, and then people, I didn't
You're
mean
not
to.
supposed to say fuck?
Because then
No,
they
not
have
on
to
that
rate it
show. We
explicit,
shouldn't, yeah.
And then so like we really try not to swear, and I love it because the Bladtcast listeners are laughing and they go, "Oh, your Bladtcast is showing through," and I was like,
that's
"Oh,
funny.
that's
It's very
great.
true.
I like
Yeah,
that.
Christian can say all kinds of.
Only on this show.
show.
I don't know. What do I like on that show? I don't even call you dummy. I feel like
don't.
it's
You're
yeah.
really nice to me. It's
Oh
weird.
no, that's
Call her a disagreeable madam.
that's the no. That's when I'll
I'm
go.
introducing the disagreeable madam Zia Lad.
I'll go the other way.
The Bladtcast
where
is hoary
what
cunt
I'll,
phase.
Yeah.
again, I talked over it.
Every time.
I'll go the other way where I'm super nice when I introduce her, and then that throws her off.
I don't know what to do.
But yeah,
I'm like, what's happening? Are we even
the incredibly
friends anymore?
lovely and supremely talented
He does
Zia
just stuff
Anderson.
Like that.
Yeah.
So weird.
Next time, Jean Beretta. Next time, switch Christian and Will's image positions so they look like they're looking at each other. Oh, I guess.
What does it look like? I'm looking
Because
at-
I'm over there on the right.
Oh, it's because we're
and-
stacked differently.
Yeah, we're stacked
Yeah.
differently. That's all right. That's fine.
We gotta stack you guys.
It's okay.
Anyway, I feel like we'll get the live stream turned off at
So
some
do
point.
we just like keep talking?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Or
still
we could
going.
just like sit.
Yeah, whoever put that, is that you, Jeff Graham, that put Spider-Verse 2 announced? Or is that Ryan? Who
That's
mentioned
actually
that?
Peter Parker.
It seems
Is
like
that Peter B. Parker?
Wow.
Oh, Vito and Steve, I know. So not only is Spider-Verse 2 announced, this is, and thank you, Stephen, for letting us, crash your weekly meeting here
thank
with
you,
our
Stephen.
nonsense. But not only is Spider-Verse 2 announced, but Ant-Man 3 was announced today. So
Insane.
yeah, so this is really an off-the-air conversation, but we're wondering if we should record a Marvel News Daily because of...
I think you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that. Anyway, so thanks to Steven, thanks to Vito, thanks to everybody here in the studio, Will, Lindsey, Amy, Zia.
I was waiting for Cunty McWhorface.
Oh my
I
goodness.
just wanted you to say it.
You said
Anyway, that's all the time for now, but we will see you next time on the Bladtcast. Oh, yeah, I never let you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot.
I remember.
Oh, rude. What a